Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure
Let's start with conversation. A few seconds
Well,
to wait for people to...
Hang on, it's gotta come up first. It's not fully there yet. Preview's still black.
Alright.
It'll load up pretty... There we go. Oh, why is it down here? Oh no, the preview one is just tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We are live.
We're live?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with conversation. Wait for people to jump in the stream.
Hi. So I'm gonna load up chat.
Dang, not coming yet. It's still not coming on my phone.
It'll be a bit.
Alright. They can hear us?
They should be able to. The mic's working.
Okay. What up, witches? Cat and Wolf are back with another Hollow stream.
Okay, they are already just here.
They're already here?
Yeah, got Akira, Jon Snow, Thrax Wolf, Shadowlink.
Wow, a lot of people already.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting it on my phone.
Let's see, we're having the reverse.
Right, now Wolf's the one ahead of the curb.
That's right, the Candyman actor died recently.
Tony Todd, he passed away, so we're gonna celebrate with a franchise he has zero connection to.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, if fan demand is high, I might rank the Candyman.
Aren't there only like 3 films?
4. Remember the Jordan Peele made the terrible
No, yeah,
fourth
I thought that was the third. I thought it was only the first one, a sequel, and then the reboot.
There was a sequel where he gets revenge, and a third one where he gets a cult.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, an interesting idea, but I heard the sequels are not loved.
Yeah, that's fair.
I might do a ranking video on that, but don't worry, Wolf, you don't have to join.
I mean, yeah, it's only 4 films.
Okay, I finally got the stream.
Good, I'm also gonna hit this little ad out of the way.
Dreamcatcher was S tier.
Yep.
There they are. I see them. Alright, we're back, and we're gonna do a tier list on the entire Halloween film series. All 13 of them. Because Michael got 13 movies over Jason.
Look, Jason went to space, okay? I don't see Michael doing that anytime soon.
Okay, for any of you who don't know how a tier list works, here we go. You have to have a ranking right here where we rank them based on how good or bad they were. S rank is obviously the best. It is a masterpiece, perfect in every way. We love it. A rank is good, not great. It does have some flaws, but overall it is a great watch overall to enjoy. B is average. This is one that had good but also bad. It was just an okay experience. C is below average. It is a weak film. Not the worst of the worst. There was potential there, but just ended up an underwhelming disappointment. And F is for failure. This is where the worst of the worst goes. A total crap. And I'm sure you all know which movies are probably going to be on here. This is do not watch territory. Dreamcatcher S tier. I still see that. Didn't bother with the new one. Candyman 1 is still the best. Yes, it is. Well, Tony Todd was on Wishmaster and Final Destination. Yeah, I mentioned that. I gave him credit as Father Death because I believe the theory that the creepy coroner guy is obviously the death behind the Final Destination stuff. I did Jason versus Michael Myers, and the fight is dull since the fight was distracted by the victim. I remember seeing the death battle. Apparently Jason won because he's immortal, while Michael is debatably supernatural.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Alright, yeah, it's weird. We love the Halloween saga. I've seen all the films. Wolf has seen half of the films.
I've seen the first good films.
Yeah,
I never saw 3. That's the only one I haven't seen.
You have seen 1, 2, I believe you saw 4 and 5 with the little girl.
Yeah.
And you've seen H2O. We saw that one
love
together.
That film still.
And I believe he's seen parts of the Rob Zombie videos from
I've
reviews.
seen a review on, I think, both of them.
Yeah, Phaelus did an awesome review. That's the one of my go-to. And I know Decker Shadow, the guy with the best hair, did it too.
Yeah.
I watched all his Halloween reviews, all very good, except for the ones I disagree on.
Yeah. And then I know there's a horror YouTuber known as Postra who recently did a review of the third one because he likes the film despite everyone not.
C is average. Yep, it is. Ghostface is an MK1.
I
I saw that trailer.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat's had the history of getting all the like horror people in it.
Right. They haven't gotten Ash Williams yet.
Right. They got the Xenomorph though.
They got Freddy in MK9.
Yep.
I love that. I got that game.
They also got Predator.
They got Predator. They got Jason. They got Leatherface.
Yep.
They got RoboCop.
Yep.
They got the Terminator too. I remember him.
Schwarzenegger.
Unfortunately, they got the Dark Fate one where Arnold does drapes.
Right.
That one was terrible.
And then I know Call of Duty. I think it was Call of Duty Ghosts in one of the map packs had an Easter egg where you could play as Michael Myers.
All right, you all can hear us, right? Just want to be sure. Don't want to blow out your eardrums like the old days.
Uh-huh.
You okay, Wolf?
Yeah, I got tossed some hair.
Okay. Yeah, Wolf's a wild animal. I honestly thought Michael would be perfect for MK. Yeah, I agree there. I'm not sure how you could do his finishers, though, because it's just basic stabbings.
Right.
I mean, unless they want to do the Halloween Resurrection kind of over-the-top stuff he did. Like he crushed a guy with a skull or pinned a guy to a wall, apparently with his 3 arms.
That sounds like a Jason feat, to be honest.
Right.
Also, hello, Emily. It's good to see you.
Emily.
It is, in fact, Wolfen time.
Emily made it.
Yep.
We're hoping to do a crossover with her one day.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so in case you don't know, we love the Halloween series. It follows Michael Myers, not Shrek, the actual serial killer Michael Myers, who apparently goes nuts and kills people every Halloween, and it's debatable if he's a normal crazy guy or if he's actually a supernatural being empowered by Halloween evil. He basically kills people and occasionally aims for his family to get rid of his bloodline. Kind of like that, how usually serial killers killed their own relatives.
Yep.
And yeah, basically some mysteries happen along the way. There's a dozen characters. Laurie Strode, who's his sister in one timeline, who's a completely unrelated person in another timeline. Dr. Loomis, the best character of the saga, one of the greatest horror heroes. Michael's therapist, who hunts him down to end his patient's killing spree for good.
Until the Rob Zombie films.
Yeah, until Rob ruined him. Jamie Lloyd, his niece in the Thorn trilogy. Basically a little girl who Michael stalks, and there's a lot more tension because a kid is at risk.
Yep.
And, like, occasionally other new characters they try to introduce who don't catch on. Yeah, we actually like the first movie, and I like some of the sequels. Wolf hasn't seen most of them, if you haven't heard.
Yeah, I might have seen them once when I was very young, but I have not rewatched the series at all.
Oh, Emily's saying that Michael kitchen knife pinned to the wall would be Michael's fatality.
Yeah, also calling you based. And yes, Akira, I did see that Hell Teacher Nube is getting a reboot. I'm kind of hesitant on it.
Did you know Ramna 1.5 is getting a reboot?
I heard it's not that great, or at least it's censored to a degree.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna turn it into the trans experience.
Well, no, it's the Japanese doing it, and they're probably following the manga much more closely, right. Like the Cardfight Vanguard.
I only heard from the idiots on X. So, all right, let's get this ranking underway with the first Halloween, which I think we all agree is F. No, S rank.
Yep.
Yeah. S rank. Of course, the first one. It is the classic. It's the movie that started it all. It's the movie that put John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis on the map. It is a horror legend. I love this movie. I watch it every Halloween season. Ironically, not on October 31st because I marathon all the others. But very good. This is the first one where it introduces us to Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, who, depending on what timeline you follow, is his sister or not. And, of course, Dr. Loomis, who hunts Michael down and has the B plot of basically tracking where Michael's been, being 2 steps behind him all the way. But Dr. Loomis is basically the voice of Michael Myers and tells us about his character, and we see him in action showing you why he's dangerous. Wolf, what did you think of this movie? You have seen this one. So.
Yes, and I actually do love it. I would not mind doing a rewatch. I think, I mean, what else can I say? It is a very good film. The opening is iconic in a way like Psycho's shower scene is. Loomis, of course, is just a great character. I do love how he's the therapist of Michael, and that just goes to show how evil he is if his own therapist is trying to hunt him down and kill him.
Yeah, Dr. Loomis has realized that there is no hope for this kid. He's spent 20 years trying to reach him, and basically he's come to the conclusion that he's not human. He's an irredeemable monster who just kills, kills, kills. And he basically comes here to transfer Michael to solitary forever, but something goes wrong and Michael breaks out of prison.
Yeah.
And he breaks out while Loomis hunts him down, and he basically tells us why this guy is bad news.
Yep, and then I think it also has the iconic end where Michael disappears.
Yeah, it's where he shot him 6 times, or 7 because I miscounted. He falls off the balcony where he should have died or got crippled, but nope, he turns there and the boogeyman is gone.
Yep, and cue the iconic piano theme.
Yeah, this had basically Laurie Strode, who's one of the most popular fangirls. There's some debate because she doesn't have much character in the first movie.
I mean, that makes sense. It's like, early horror.
Yeah, early horror. They're basically a bunch of goofy, ditzy girls being stalked by this crazy guy. And I would describe it more as a thriller than a slasher movie because Michael has the lowest body count in this movie. He, like, kills a few people. He kills, like, a trucker for his jumpsuit.
Right.
He kills, like, a few of Laurie's friends. I believe 3, maybe 4. I remember he killed Annie. He killed Linda. He killed the dumb boyfriend by pinning him to the wall.
Yeah.
Was there another one? I'm not sure.
You're asking the wrong person if you're looking for that answer.
He mostly spends this movie stalking people, and a lot of the fear comes where he's in the shadows, watching them, trailing them, wondering what he's gonna do. How dangerous is this guy, actually, while Loomis is telling us... Oh, that's right, he killed his sister at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, he killed his sister at, like, age 8.
Yep.
And the big twist is he was just a little boy all along.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's, like, basically suggested to have been crazy since childhood. And that was part of the reason, like, Loomis has given up on him, because he's tried to reach him, but he just sat there being angry. Not knowing, having the blank expression that he committed murder and doesn't have any remorse or care.
Yep.
Like, not even sadism. I do argue that Michael does seem to have emotion around Halloween because he gets some kind of sick thrill out of scaring people.
Yeah, I could say that.
He has, like, this elaborate setup when Laurie investigates the house and all her dead friends are, like, strung up in poses, like, as if they were Halloween decorations. And he, like, wanted to scare her. Because this implies that Michael does get some thrill out of tormenting them, that killing them isn't just enough. Like, he's, like, literally acting like a Halloween spirit in his own way. But, yeah, the first one is great. I love it. I love Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. He is awesome. Yeah. He pretty much saves most of the sequels.
Yeah.
Because he's the best character. I love Dr. Loomis more than Laurie. I know because Laurie's the one who has more films because the guy who played Dr. Loomis was old and died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Loomis was great. He's the best character in the films. I describe him as the real hero of the franchise. Yeah, no disrespect to Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie, of course, but Loomis was the one who was proactive in most of these movies.
Yep.
Yeah, Halloween S rank, no one's probably going to argue, that should be lower. Next is Halloween 2. You remember this one, Wolf, where Michael stalks Laurie at the hospital?
Okay.
This is the one where Laurie, after surviving the first movie, gets taken to the hospital. She's in a coma for like half of it. And Michael stalks her there and picks off the hospital staff one by one. And Loomis is trying to figure out where Michael went. And yeah, I really like this one, actually. I thought it was one of the best sequels. It is directly after the first movie, and it's still the same Halloween night. Michael follows the hospital. They're all like basic slasher movie characters, and he's picking them off. He gets a much higher kill count in this movie. And the greatest thing is the set. The hospital is so creepy in this one. Like, there's like so many quiet hallways, dark areas, shadows, and Michael gets his hands on a bunch of medical tools.
Yeah, that's probably not the best.
And, like, yeah, as soon as someone's, like, alone in a dark corner of the hospital, Michael strikes and picks them off. I really like this one. I might put it in S rank, honestly.
That makes sense.
Below the first one, of course, but yeah. Yeah, Halloween 2 is definitely an S rank. It has the greatest atmosphere. And I think Michael is so creepier in this one because he's a lot more proactive. This has the fans don't like the infamous twist where Laurie is Michael's sister. We find out, yeah, Michael's been stalking her because he wants to finish his bloodline off. And he's trailed her because she's a Myers. How did you fans feel about the sister twist? Personally, I liked it because they built better stories out of it. And, you know, it kind of makes sense now that the first movie, why he's so honed in on Laurie. Like, you remember this one, Wolf?
Not really.
You don't remember it?
No, I am horrible for this. I have made that clear to Kat already. I do not remember these films. I remember the first one and H2O, really.
Kind of separating the slashers and the slash nerds. Halloween 4 should have been Halloween 3, then Silver Shamrock. Yeah, we'll get to that one. Okay. I like Halloween 2. The kills in this are brutal. Michael, like, drowns a nurse in, like, a scalding hot tub, burning her flesh. Michael stabs 2 people with, like, a syringe through their eye.
Oh, jeez.
It was, like, so creepy. And he uses a scalpel and, like, hoists one of the nurse up with a tiny scalpel up in the air.
Of course.
And she's, like, slowly falling down on the scalpel. And, like, yeah, it kills her, shreds her spine. One of the weird kills is he also kills a nurse with, like, a blood kind of thing, like a blood transfusion thing. He, like, sticks it in her and tied her to bed while she's, like, dripping pools of blood.
Okay, he's draining the blood out
Yeah,
of
he's, like, draining her slowly. It's like, we don't see it happen, like, on screen, though. He apparently jumped her at some point. And, yeah, and one of the guys, like, so big, one of the guys slips on blood and trips. It, like, filled the whole room.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it became much more of a slasher than a thriller.
Yeah,
just based off those kills.
Some people don't like it because they claim this is where Michael became Jason Voorhees, but both these guys kind of copied the other all the time. Yeah, like Pooh from Blood and Honey. Halloween 2 is an underrated one. I personally love it as much as the first. Hey, I agree, Shadowlink. Halloween 2 is the best of the sequels. Dr. Loomis is much more proactive this time because this is the one with also the car accident where he sees a guy who looks like Michael, chases him, and the guy gets rammed by a truck and then explodes when it hits a van. And Loomis spends, like, a fraction of the movie trying to determine if Michael was that guy who got ran over.
Yeah.
You find out, no, it was Ben Tramer, Laurie's off-screen love interest from the first movie. This was his only appearance.
Oh, and he dies. Nice.
He dies, yeah. They basically think it's Michael, and Loomis finds out, no, the guy was too young compared to Myers, and he finally, he gets called away by the state because they blame him for Michael escaping. But then, while he's being drafted, the nurse mentions that Laurie is Myers' sister, and Loomis finally puts it together that, oh crap, Michael's after the second sister. That's what he's been doing this whole time, and I love he hijacks the car, like, threatens the warrant officer to take him to the hospital.
I do kind of remember those scenes.
It's like, what's it you boys do? You fire a warning shot, and he, like, shoots the windshield. Forces the guy to help him search the hospital.
Yeah. Again, it goes to show the desperation he has just to stop Michael.
Right. Like, Loomis is badass in this movie, too, because...
Just in the whole series, really.
Right. This time, this is where he shows up, and when he fights Michael, he bombs the surgery room. Like, he and Laurie get trapped in the operating room. They fill it with gas. Loomis is, like, wounded, and I remember this cool shot where Laurie shoots Michael's eyes out, and he, like, bleeds tears.
Yeah.
It's like the bullets apparently didn't hit his brain, but yeah. Yeah, he, like, has tears coming out of the mask, and he's, like, stabbing blindly everywhere.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, it was probably the most intense scene of the movie, because Michael is actually damaged for once, and, like, they're trying to desperately flood the room. Michael can't hear because the gas is, like, flooding.
Yeah.
And Loomis heroically sacrifices himself by blowing it up, and both of them survived. Yeah, Lori survives, gets her happy ending, and she's carted off, and one of the random nurses she was crushing on hooks up with her. She got over Ben Tramer like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween 2, underrated sequel. Not as good as the first, but I think it is one of the S-rank movies. It is good. So, let's get to everyone. 8 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yep.
Wolf, do you have any
So
clue
I
on
know
this
I've heard from talk, either from Kat or even just online, where I swear I've heard this comment of Halloween 3 is a good film, but it is not a good Halloween film. It on its own, it can stand upright, but because it was put into this franchise, it is really hated by everyone.
Right.
Because it has nothing to do with Michael. It's trying to set up the haunted
Anthology,
masks.
yeah.
Yes. That every new movie or like 2 movies would be another person with one of these masks that turns them into a killer.
Right.
Which, it's a good idea in theory, but the problem is, I think 1 and 2 just made everyone too attached to Michael.
Right. John Carpenter kind of pulled this late in the game. This is when he tried to make Halloween an anthology saga. It was going to follow new stories, but you kind of had 2 movies in the same timeline.
And you also showed no, plans for this before.
Right. Halloween 3, John Carpenter tried an anthology idea where basically this evil Walt Disney guy comes down. He's selling these cursed haunted masks which are going to kill people around the world on Halloween night at midnight. But when he airs the Silver Shamrock trigger commercial, it is a weird movie. This is why it didn't do well, because it was also very peculiar. These aliens come down, and this is their plot to invade the Earth by killing humans on Halloween, and they're using Stonehenge as a power source. Basically, this random doctor guy played by Tom Atkins, one of his patients is killed. He's silenced by an alien agent, and he tracks him down to this company town, kind of, where he investigates these haunted masks. Wolf is so confused.
Again, if you could see my face, it would say everything. It sounds as insane as Kat is saying it.
It is a bizarre one, and
yeah.
I do not like it. It is a C-tier movie. I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people.
I'm surprised only C.
It would make F, but there are worse ones.
Yeah, that's fair.
Worse ones.
That's fair.
It's okay, people like it because it tries. This is the first Halloween movie that actually captures the holiday spirit. The company town is this complete Halloween city. It looks cool. It captures the festives, and Halloween lore is actually a huge part. It's the spirit of Sam Hain.
They have Stonehenge for that.
It's ancient aliens, and Sam Hain is their ritual, but really it's an aliens contingency scheme or something.
Of course, the aliens built Stonehenge conspiracy.
Yeah, this doctor guy, Tom Atkins, he goes to the town. He's investigating. He slowly uncovers that these guys, there's more to them than what we see, and they're actually aliens. I swear there's these henchmen are actually robots or something, and they're played by Michael Myers' stunt doubles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, one of them is played by Michael from Halloween 2 in a cameo. And he basically they're watching him. It's kind of this big brother kind of fear, because they're trying to hinder his investigation.
Interesting.
The people, they're random characters, visitors in town, tourists. There's a crazy homeless guy who got laid off by the company who hates them. And, there's all these warning signs they're slowly figuring out. And these agents / supernatural characters are, slowly picking off these random characters or attacking the doctor, Tom Atkins. And the kills in this are also very weird. One of his friends gets killed by a laser beam.
Of course.
It's a laser.
Aliens.
It's it's the first clue that they're aliens. She's trying to hinder the mask, and a laser beam shoots through the mask and at her face. Like, apparently she didn't see where it came
Yeah,
from.
well, I mean, laser is just light.
And the masks do these weird things where they're like testing to make sure the masks are functional, and they apparently kill the wearer and turn their head into bugs and insects. They like crawl out where their skull used to be.
Okay.
It is a weird strategy to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre. For me, it's a B or C. I think it's a C. I did not like it. One of my biggest problems is the effects are god-awful.
Well, it's still like 80s, 90s.
It's like early 80s, very early 80s,
so,
yeah.
I can't really fault the technology for that.
The main villain's death is weird because you can't tell it's a death. Basically, Tom Atkins, like, foils his scheme by destroying Stonehenge.
Of course.
He, like, throws all these, like, circuits at, like, the machine that's supposed to be the signal booster. It breaks down, explodes around Stonehenge, and the villain gets, like, laser beamed, and it is this weird Photoshop effect where he's, like, absorbed and disintegrated into Stonehenge or something.
Okay.
It is weird. Like, the one praise I will have is the guy playing the villain. He's like this evil Walt Disney knockoff and a corrupt businessman CEO. He's having the time of his life in this movie.
That's good.
He's like playing this grandfatherly, oh, you kids have fun, have a free mask. He's like so chewing his scenery. He really likes it. Yeah, Old Man Cochran, that was it. MK1 reference to Halloween 3. 1 and 2 are easily the best in the series. Yep, they are S rank. Yeah, Halloween 3 really sucks, and one of the twists is the main character's love interest was also a robot. It's like,
God, this sounds is as convoluted as FNAF lore gets.
Yeah, she was
robots included.
She was apparently a robot this whole time trying to sabotage him, which makes no sense because at the beginning she comes to him with the mystery because the agents killed her father, who was an actual human guy.
Was he really, though? Were all these just programmed memories?
It's like, yeah, she was teaming up with him this whole time, then betrays him. She's a robot, and the guy rips her in half.
Nice.
He rams her over, and we see she's circuits and crap. It's so weird.
Look, what it's really telling you is that you just can't trust women.
Right? It's so weird, because everyone, like, I swear, Tom Atkins attracts so many chicks in this movie. They all want to, like, all the women want to sleep with him.
Jeez.
Like, he's, like, a lot more suave than Belle Crennel in this movie. Like, half the women want to sleep with him. So awkward when his real-life wife isn't even the love interest. It's like playing someone else.
Wow.
Like, I hate this because the story is convoluted as hell and makes no sense. I thought it, like, the main bad guy's plan makes no sense. Like, he basically says, I'm doing all this because it's a Halloween prank. An alien invasion it's just a prank, bruh.
It's just a social experiment.
So yeah, they're implied to be aliens. This is how they're gonna take over the world or something, and he treats it like it's Halloween. And I kid you not, at one point he ties up the main character in a death trap where he's watching a Michael Myers marathon until the commercial plays to trigger the death mask. It's like the most self-indulgent crap. It's like, yeah, see, here's the good Halloween movie, guys. It's like, yeah, after John Carpenter's Halloween marathon ends, the commercial will come up and kill everyone when it triggers the curse or technology or whatever.
Yeah, I think my brain's broken listening to that.
It is bad. It is so bad. I don't get why people like it. The horror anthology was not a bad idea, but this was not a good attempt at it, and it came too late in the game. It's like, it sucks. The acting's bad, the effects are bad, the plot is a mess. It doesn't make any sense, and Wolf doesn't know. The twist ending is basically the bad guy wins. The Tom Atkins, like, escapes. He calls random studios to tell them not to play the commercial and take their stuff off the air. And one big shock, one of the studios doesn't listen.
Of course.
And they play it, and it ends with Tom Atkins yelling on the phone, "Stop it! Stop it!" And we fade to black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know how you can have a sequel after that.
Yeah,
if everyone's dead.
I give credit. The guy playing Tom Atkins really tried. He actually is a good actor, but the writing does not back him up. It's bad. It is a lame fail. I put it on C tier.
Yeah, again, I personally think Halloween 3, based on its own story, is good. If it wasn't called Halloween 3, it would be a cult classic. Yeah, those are the comments I've heard quite a lot about this.
Yeah, if it was just called Season of the Witch, no Halloween, like not attached to Michael Myers, it probably would have done well.
Yeah.
It does have a cult following. There are fans of this, but Wolf and I are not in this.
Well, I also just haven't seen the film.
Right, and it's also kind of boring. Like, they play the detective stuff very dead seriously, even though the stupid effects and crap are not helping it.
I guess in a way it could just be one of those so bad it's good films for a couple people.
Yeah, Emily really likes it. She defends it.
What is your favorite horror movie franchise? Oh boy.
Oh boy, there's a lot. I kind of did.
Yeah.
I did Psycho. I like that.
I've only seen the first one because I had to for class.
I like Hannibal Lecter. The only two that are bad are The Clarice Show and Hannibal Rising. But pretty good franchise overall. I really loved all the films.
I guess I'm gonna have to say Scream. I think.
Really, you like Scream?
I think I like it more because it doesn't have a whole lot of films to it, so it doesn't have that many bombs.
You haven't seen the series yet.
I know.
All right, let's go with Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers.
Yep.
This is the one where Michael Myers snaps out of his being a corpse and comes after his niece, Jamie. This is where Jamie becomes the new final girl for the saga for a while. So, basically, Michael's corpse is being transported, and he overhears, like, on the radio, or the doctor's talking, that apparently he has a niece, because Laurie apparently had a daughter, but she, quote-unquote, died in a car crash, and Jamie's being adopted. It's like the anniversary of when Michael died, and, of course, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah, of course.
This news apparently snaps Michael out of death, and he kills the transport people, and breaks out to go on a killing spree to find his niece and kill his bloodline again.
I wish I had that kind of power.
And Dr. Loomis is alive, but apparently he has scars and a limp from an explosion. And he finds out Michael has revived from the dead, and he goes hunting again to stop Michael Myers for good. And we follow Jamie and her foster sister, who are basically having their first Halloween party. Jamie is very antisocial because everyone in town treats her weirdly because she's related to the serial killer Michael, and her mom died also, or allegedly died. This is before they retcon Laurie is alive.
Okay.
So yeah, but basically it was an excuse to get Jamie Lee Curtis out because she didn't want to come back. And yeah, basically Jamie is celebrating like her first Halloween trick-or-treating, and Michael, of course, enters the picture and slowly stalks her and trying to find the right moment to get her alone while Loomis is on his manhunt. This time, Loomis is actually far more effective in this movie because he actually convinces the sheriff to help him and gets like a bunch of drunk rednecks to help be vigilantes.
It's just a posse.
Yeah, they're a posse. Like, civilians are actually looking for Michael this time, and Michael is far more deadly in this movie. He gets another high body count, and this time we actually see Michael Myers is smart. He takes out the town's power grid, he chucks a construction worker at the generator, and causes a blackout. Then he systematically kills an entire police precinct, make sure the cops don't interfere with his hunt of Jamie. And Jamie, of course, becomes a clown for Halloween, just like Michael was when he did his first killing.
Yep.
And she and her sister are trying to bond. Apparently, because it's her stepsister, they're not very close, and this movie sort of builds a sister relationship between them. I thought this had the creepiest scene where they get separated, and of course it's a dark and foggy Halloween night, and there are so many creepy scenes of Michael, like, in the fog, watching them, slowly stalking them, and he, like, follows them, like, down dark, quiet alleys. Like, the girls are questioning if they see someone there or not. It is very creepy. I think it's, like, the most Halloween-y kind of spirit kind of movie.
Okay.
It really celebrates the holiday because Michael Myers is actually following a trick-or-treater this time. Yeah, Any comments? Halloween 4 was a
Okay.
favorite of mine growing up. Not the biggest fan of Jamie twist at the end, but it feels like a return to basics movie that felt close to the first. Yeah, I agree. Halloween 4 is Michael's back, and we finally feel like it's the same franchise again.
In our honest opinion, are the majority of these films faithful sequels or soulless cash grabs?
Okay, I think some of them are faithful, and yes, there are cash grabs, particularly
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's crap.
I think all of the John Carpenter ones and all the like original ones, I think those are honestly faithful.
Yeah,
H2O is the most faithful, I'd say.
Right, the ones with Dr. Loomis especially, I think since Loomis was, the guy playing Loomis was very passionate about these.
Oh, yeah.
He took it seriously, he is the best part in these movies, and yeah, I think if it has Loomis in it for sure, it is definitely a faithful movie. And H2O, I would argue, is also faithful. That's
Yeah.
sadly the first one without him.
Yeah.
They had Tom Kane do a dub voice of him in a montage.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
I guess there is one, I think, of the more original, quote-unquote original, like, series ones that is kind of cash grab, and that's the one with Busta Rhymes. I just don't remember where that is.
You could talk about Camp Blood, talk about Friday the 13th. Yeah, we are. We might talk about that, but Wolf hasn't seen most of
I
those.
agree, Loomis and Michael are the franchise. Agreed.
Agreed. In y'all's opinion, are majority... Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, we just answered that one.
Yeah, I think there's a decent number of soulful films. Halloween 4, I will put in A rank. It is a good movie. It's got some flaws. Namely, it starts the infamous Thorn saga.
Yeah.
This is the supernatural Michael, who's a part of a satanic cult.
Yeah, he has like a mark on him.
Yeah, well, there's a weird twist.
Is it 4 or 5 where he passes the mark off?
It is 4. It is at the
Okay.
end of the movie.
Yeah, because he like grabs.
He
the
like
niece,
touches Jamie, yeah.
and then she basically becomes like a Michael.
Yeah.
In the next film.
Until they retcon that. Yeah. Okay, so Halloween 4, this has the scariest scenario too, because Loomis actually successfully finds Jamie before Michael does. They take her to like her house and board it up, but it turns out Michael sneaked in like one of the cop cars and followed them.
Of course.
And they accidentally board up the house with him still inside.
Nice.
And there's a lot of like creepy shots of Michael in the shadows, and Michael basically starts picking them off. Of course, he actually smartly waits for Dr. Loomis to leave because Loomis doesn't know he's in the house and goes on his manhunt.
Right, and also Loomis is his greatest threat.
Yeah, Loomis is an actual threat to Myers. Yeah, he almost shot Michael at the gas station, like earlier in the film when he's tracking him.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael is in the house. He starts picking off, like, the characters. One of my favorites is he actually impales a girl with a shotgun.
Huh.
Yeah, he like, stabs her with a shotgun through the door.
I don't know how you can do that without a bayonet.
That was one of my favorite kills. It made my top 10 Halloween kills list. It's like, yeah, Michael Myers has a gun for the first time and he stabs a chick with it.
Oh boy. Intellect 0.
There's pretty brutal deaths in this too. Michael beheads the watch guard and like mounts his like head on a candlestick or
Oh,
something.
jeez. Oh, it's like a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like a jack-o'-lantern. And the stepsister's like boyfriend tries to stop him, and he heroically like sacrifices himself. He's like wings Michael with like the shotgun, but then Michael like crushes his skull.
I feel like I kind of remember that.
Yeah, he like crushes his skull, and you see like blood gushing out of all his orifices.
Of course.
Then he tosses him outside on the balcony, like up the stairway. It's a pretty savage kill, and I do feel sorry for him because he like gets his redemption kind of here. Michael chases him on the roof. The one problem is the guy playing Michael Myers, he looks very weird in this movie. Like he didn't fit in the outfit, and the roof chase where he chases on the rooftop looks very weird. The guy's like too bulky in the outfit. He like looks like a kind of weird short but buff Michael Myers.
Oh, it's a different guy for...
Yeah, they got a different guy in the fourth movie. Yeah, he follows him on the roof, and he stands like very weird and awkwardly. Like in the light, Michael does not look good.
Yeah.
Like in the shadows, he looks creepy, but yeah, he looks weird in this. It would really be cool if you guys did a movie night. It would be a really good addition to your Patreon.
Right.
Yeah, like on the Discord or something.
Yeah, I really don't want to set up a Discord at this moment right now.
Nah. Oh, no, Friday the 13th. I mean, actually,
apparently
Camp
there's a
Blood.
Camp Blood
Okay.
thing for 15 films.
Yeah, I
I
did
think.
not. Yeah, I agree, Shadowlink. Halloween 4 is A tier. Not great, but it is pretty good.
Yeah.
And Michael is very hellbent on killing Jamie in this movie. It is pretty cool and kind of scary because eventually she ends up alone. Like Rachel, her stepsister, gets like wounded when Michael tosses her off the roof. She's like KO'd for a good portion, but he chases the girl. She runs into school. Michael's still stalking her. Loomis actually comes back finally and almost saves her, but Michael grabs him and throws him through a classroom window.
Jeez.
It's like, yeah, Michael is brutal in this movie. Rachel and the rednecks finally come to save the day.
Let's go, rednecks.
Like, they come in their pickup truck and save Jamie and Rachel, but they try to take the girls away while the police like reinforcements finally come in and hunker down at the school. But surprise, Michael followed them because he was under the trucker car this whole time. Like, apparently none of these guys saw Cape Fear. And Michael was under the truck while they're driving away, and he goes on a murder spree, stabbing each and throwing them out of the car off mountainsides and at rocks.
Jeez.
It's like, yeah. My favorite is when they're driving and they don't hear anything. Michael breaks through the window and rips the trucker guy's throat out in front of the girls, and they sprays blood at them.
Jeez, they really went overboard.
Yeah, Michael is like so pissed at this point. He's like smashing the windows and headbutting against the windshield, trying to get Jamie. At one point, he like gives up and trying to stab them, just tries throwing them out of the car. They run him over. He's still standing. Like this is where they run him over. It only knocks him out, and this is where Jamie touches him to see if he's dead, and he grabs her by the hand, and that's what triggers the Thorn curse, which I know you're all looking forward to. And the police and the surviving rednecks show up, and they gun down Michael Myers Red Dead Redemption style.
Jeez.
It's like, yeah, they show no mercy. They gun him down when he wakes up, get Jamie out of the crossfire. He gets shotgun grenaded, blown up, and he falls down a mine shaft, and they throw more bombs down there to make sure he's dead.
Huh.
And that is how Michael dies in this movie. I say dies with quotes because he'll be back.
Of course.
And basically, they take everyone home. Dr. Loomis is glad it's finally over, but until we get our twist ending where Jamie becomes Michael Myers and kills her mom.
Yep. And
she's like wearing like the same clown mask Michael wore. She's like has the evil in her now, and Loomis almost shoots her, but then he said no, and Jamie becomes the new Halloween killer. Not because like retcon. And yeah, Halloween 4 is pretty good. I really like it. I know a lot of people did not like the twist ending, but I think Donald Pleasance really sold that scene.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, it is a creepy twist, and Jamie potentially becoming the new killer was an interesting idea, but, yeah, they don't follow it because Michael is this franchise.
Yeah. The actor who played Myers in Part 4, Wilbur, also played in Part 6, and then also died recently.
R.I.P. Wilbur.
Yep. Meant to be an homage. Notice the names Jamie Lee Curtis. Not sure if that was done on purpose. Pretty cool though.
Yeah, that's right. They name actors like after characters. Right, yeah.
Do you guys ever get squeamish with the gore and violence, or are you desensitized to it?
I can't watch Saw. That's why I haven't done a ranking on that movie.
Yeah, I'm very weird on it because I feel like I'm desensitized to like where it gets extremely over the top kind of things, but when it's like very, I'm gonna say personal, but it's like a weird way to put it. Right. The camera's very intimate and slow with how it treats the like injury, like Hellraiser. The scene with the nail. It is when you look at it,
it's a very realistic kind of way.
But when you look at it in like a macro scale, it's just someone stepping on a nail. But the way the camera sells it and everything, it is something that I cannot watch. And that is like with Saw and also again later Hellraiser, where it's like it over the top, but they drag it out and show you just how gory and painful it really can be.
Are you ever gonna do Saw ranking? Yeah. There's like 11 films now, man, and
well, there's also Spiral.
Yeah, that's why I said 11. Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait.
Was
That,
Drift- 'cause
no, wait. That is 12. Okay, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I was gonna say there is
There's
an
a
11.
lot,
There's
yeah.
another movie coming out.
I remember watching 2. That was oh my gosh.
Like the needle scene was too
Yeah.
gross, and people told me that was actually the least bloody scene in the franchise.
I mean, there's one person that gets incinerated.
Like, I don't know. I can't stomach it. I couldn't even watch Dead Meat's Book of Saw movie because there's a machine that rips your tongue out now.
Oh god.
It's like, bro, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not gonna do a Saw ranking because I can't stomach it, and the gore will get us demonetized and age restricted.
So funny you mentioned Saw because I literally was going to ask if you're going to do a ranking. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to deliver on that.
Did you get a copy of the Saw video game? No, I did not.
I've seen Adam play it from YMS.
Adam plays
yes.
YMS.
Let me out. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, I've seen the playthroughs of that. That is less gory because the graphics are so dated.
Oh, yeah.
So I could
Also,
stomach it easier.
Gameplay is just bad.
Yeah, the plot point went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Loomis the rabbit. Yeah, the funny bunny.
I heard they used some real neat. I bet they did. I bet they did because the first one was shot on a low budget, and I feel like the second one would carry over with that to some degree.
Who wishes they started the anthology with the first sequel? I don't know. How would that turned out if they did do anthology from movie 2, Wolf? For Halloween. If Halloween was a new Halloween scary story each and every film.
Huh. I feel like it would not if we went back in time and did this. I feel like it would not sell well, honestly.
Right. So because there's no continuity kind of, and it would have ended up kind of like Tales from the Crypt. Their movies didn't last very long.
Right.
Because there's a new story each film.
Yeah, and I feel like doing it that way would also give off much more of the scent that each one of these is just like a cash grab.
Right. Yeah, I think they could have gotten lazier and just did cheap ideas.
Exactly.
It's like Halloween so far has not fallen to the direct-to-video stuff. Their stuff has still been theatrical. All right, let's move on with Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
What is this, Star Wars?
Yeah, this is one where, surprise, Michael survived because apparently the mine shaft led him out through a river. And he gets washed up and some crazy homeless guy takes him in and heals him for a year until next Halloween.
Okay.
It was retconned that this crazy homeless guy is actually a member of the Cult of Thorn.
Of course.
This is where the Thorn saga truly gets its kick in. Jamie was taken to the nut house after killing her mom.
Right.
And apparently they're doing a better job curing her than Michael because she's back to normal. Yeah, Jamie's in the hospital being treated by Dr. Loomis, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And basically everyone thinks Michael's gone, but surprise, he's not.
Back, yeah.
He snaps back, apparently fully healed, and as thanks, he kills the homeless guy who healed him.
He was a necessary sacrifice.
Makes his way back to town for revenge on Jamie and her family. And yeah, another Halloween film where he's stalking while Dr. Loomis is realizing that Jamie has a psychic connection where she can see what Michael sees.
I kind of remember
this is the one with the thorn magic, because apparently Michael's evil is spreading.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, it's basically he goes on another slasher spree. Michael's killing a bunch of random teenagers who are friends with Jamie's stepsister Rachel. He's following them. We do get some cool kills, but this is the one where we also get really stupid moments. Rachel's protected by comic relief cops.
Oh, good.
They have a goofy ass theme song, and it sounds like something out of the Looney Tunes. I remember these guys. They're both stupid bumblers. And yeah, of course you're waiting for Michael to kill them.
Yeah.
This is the one where they tried experimenting with new things. They introduce another villain, the Man in Black, who is the cult Thorn leader. So yeah, it's a twist. Yeah, he's the cult leader. He's around doing some magic and low-key assisting Michael on some of his things. He's leaving clues from to find Jamie.
Interesting.
He's going to places where Michael's been, his house. Michael Myers' old house gets retconned into a mansion in this version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a home in a
We
suburb.
saw the house is the thing in the first one.
Yeah, and
Can't really retcon that.
it's like a blatant change because it was a normal house, and no, now it's like a 3-story mansion with a laundry chute and a cavern basement. It's so weird seeing this like cave basement and they have the washing machines down there.
Of course.
Yeah, the house has apparently also been abandoned for years by this point, like longer than it actually was in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loomis is like investigating, finding out, and he finds the thorn symbol, the weird triangle with like the huge line, like it's supposed to be like stabbing into a person.
Okay.
And we uncover that Michael is supernatural in this movie. This is where he is like the antichrist for this cult. Like they like pass on the evil to him as the embodiment of their god or something, and he's supposed to kill people, and a part of the ritual is he kills his bloodline.
Okay.
And yeah, he's after Jamie because Jamie like almost became the replacement for him.
Okay.
And yeah, a lot of mystery solving. This is where we also meet everyone's favorite character, Tina, the stupid comic relief girl.
Oh, great.
And yeah, she's like friends with Rachel and Jamie. Rachel gets killed halfway through, so Tina can become the surprise protagonist.
Oh, great.
It's like, I thought this movie would have been so much better if they just swapped roles, have Tina die halfway through, and have Rachel, because Tina ends up performing a heroic sacrifice, like when Michael comes after Jamie. It's like supposed to be her redemption moment.
Gotcha.
She like takes a stabbing meant for Jamie, and Michael kills her, and like it like breaks Jamie and like makes her hellbent on finally fighting back against Michael. You know, because her sister's death didn't do that already.
Halloween 5 is a very hard one for me to judge. Call it nostalgia blindness, but I think it's pretty solid and is slightly overhated. This movie, however, does the unforgivable sin at making Michael cry.
Oh, yeah, that scene, because he also feels Jamie's emotions from the curse.
Yeah,
they're both, connected. Like, feeling the other's mind.
Halloween 5 is mixed for me. Some cool ideas.
Which film is
and ideas, but plenty of dumb moments, too. C for me, not as bad as the next one.
Which film is the campiest? I think Halloween 5 and Resurrection definitely are. They are. I wonder what they...
I would defend 5 for that I enjoy them and would watch them again before the Rob Zombie ones or the recent trilogy, but I think 4 was the last really great one that I fell in love, honestly.
Yeah, 4 was great, which is why 5 is actually divisive, Wolf.
Okay.
There are people who love it, there are people who hate it.
Yeah.
People hate it because they find it boring, they find it goofy, and they did not like the supernatural thorn story arc
I could see that
was happening. Me, I actually thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty decent. It had its moments. There were our stupid moments, too.
Yeah.
I hated how Jamie is sidelined for this one. Some people argue that Loomis was a dick in this one. I think it's more the stress is getting to him, that Michael's still here. Michael's still killing people.
Yeah, all his attempts have failed.
And he's finding out there's a cult that worships him.
Yeah.
It's like meaning that there's a lot more of these psychos out there.
Also, apparently he has the worst mask in this one.
Oh, yeah, like, Michael's mask has, like, this pink hair, but they tried changing it with the lighting, and sometimes it did not work.
Given the just pink hair, it kind of sounds like they might be trying to bring up like the clown mask.
Yeah, they were trying to
again.
Yeah, he's like pink hair, but in lighting it looks brown. It's like when it's dark it looks brown, but when it's brightly lit you can see the pink shimmering. And a lot of people it looked off.
Yeah.
And they also kind of gave him kind of a droopy face because they needed a new William Shatner mask.
Right.
Yeah, they finally replaced the mask in this one, and a lot of people did not like how it looked.
Yeah.
This one, it has a cool moment where Michael actually tries running over Jamie in a car.
Huh.
He like chases her, like drives through like a cornfield, and he nearly runs her over. And it leads to a brutal scene where Michael crashes into a tree.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, yeah, and the scary part is we see him come out and he's completely unfazed by it.
Of course.
Because, yeah, Michael's supernatural by this point.
Even then, I feel like he might have shrugged it off and if this was like 1 or 2.
Right. This does Halloween 5, I will say, has my favorite climax, too. This is where Loomis takes Jamie back to the old Myers mansion for the face-off, knowing he'll come, because history's repeating itself. And basically he goes there, like he has like a bunch of cops, but the Michael Myers like tricks the cops into all leaving apparently by killing another precinct, and they all go thinking he's there, and Loomis stays alone with like only a handful of cops knowing he'll be here. Michael shows up and really brutally kills the cops too. He like uses a car to ram another guy dead.
Oh my gosh.
And he breaks in like, and they board up the house like it's like their fighting arena. Loomis actually tries talking Michael once more, telling him that he's a pawn and this won't bring him the closure he needs. But surprise, it doesn't break him. Okay. He like chucks Loomis, and Loomis is put aside for right now. Jamie and one of the friendly officers actually tries to help her out, and I felt so sorry for this guy because he gets a brutal death too. He builds like a rope to climb out the window, but Michael breaks in and they fist fight actually, but he kills the cop by strangling with his escape rope and throwing him out the window where he's lynched to death. It's like, I thought that was actually a cool kill.
Oh yeah, it sounds cool.
I felt it actually made me feel sorry for him because he actually tried to save the little girl. It's like, oh, finally, a useful cop in this movie. And he gets the most brutal death.
Naturally.
Yeah, and this leads to a very cool Scooby-Doo chase of Michael chasing Jamie in the haunted mansion.
Of course.
The best scene everyone loves is where she's in the laundry chute. And Michael almost gets her. She, like, falls down there, but the laundry chute is locked down below, and Michael has to stab, like, through it. And she's, like, crawling up, trying to get to the next floor. Michael, like, almost gets her. He, like, skins her knee with a stab.
Yeah, that is a scene I do kind of remember.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, and it's one of the few scary moments, because she's, like, trapped, and he's very pissed by this point, trying to get her. It's, like, so claustrophobic.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a Shining kind of situation.
Oh, Shadowlink thinks it's solid and slightly overhated.
Yeah.
I think the unforgivable sin making him cry.
Yeah, I did read that one. Also, hello, Blacksmith Orange. Glad you could be here.
Glad you made it. Here's the ranking so far.
Yep.
Got 1 and 2 in the S rank, 4 is A, and Season of the Witch is C because I hate it.
Yeah, I would.
Halloween 5, I might give a B.
That's fair.
I really like it. Not done talking about it yet, but yeah, Halloween
Might as well place it.
Yeah, Halloween 5 is definitely a B. It had its good moments, but it does have its stupid-ass moments, too. This also leads, like, Jamie's eventually saved by Dr. Loomis in the best fight, because Loomis unloads on him. Like, Loomis, like, uses Jamie to lure him, where he has a net made of chains hoisted above that drops on Michael. Then he shoots him with a trank gun until his gun's empty. Then he wails on him with a 2x4.
Jeez.
Basically beats Michael until Loomis has like a stroke or a heart attack, and both of them like collapse on each other, like dead in each other's arms.
Wow. If it ended there, that's honestly
like
a good way to do it.
It is cool. It is why I defend this movie. It has the coolest Loomis versus Myers scene in this movie. Like, Loomis has finally had enough too, and basically makes sure he dies. Funny story, apparently Donald Pleasance did such a good job, he accidentally broke the stuntman's nose.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he apparently did too good a job at it. He accidentally broke it, because the guy wasn't wearing, like, enough protective gear on his face. And yeah, he broke his nose, and the guy, like, hitting the floor was actually kept in the film. Because it was, like, very convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Loomis, like, has a heart attack, a stroke, and seemingly dies. Like, yeah, they kind of kept it up in the air if he was gonna die or not next film. But yeah, this is where Loomis and Myers finally have a satisfactory ending, and Michael, of course, didn't die, and he's taken in prison. And some people hate this scene because Myers is, like, locked up with a chain ball and behind
that's not
bars.
gonna stop him.
It's like, I thought it was actually a good scene. I thought it was one of the most satisfying scenes, seeing Michael, like, pay for his crimes. He's literally, like, behind bars.
Yeah.
They do keep his mask on because no one wants to touch him. Yeah. Like, they finally win, but we get our twist ending. So, as soon as Jamie's, like, being escorted home, the man in black shows up and shoots up the police station with a
Okay.
machine gun. Yeah, there's a machine gun in a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
And he breaks Myers out of jail, and we see them escaping while Jamie looks at the cage and cries because it's not over yet. And we fade to black, and I love how the cage is like completely destroyed, like a monster just broke out.
Okay.
It like he didn't just open it; he like blew it up.
Yeah,
open.
well, yeah, it sounds like it's supposed to be mirroring that.
I will defend Halloween 5 for that. I enjoy them. Watch them again before Rob Zombie's one. Yeah, definitely.
5 had a ridiculous ending, I will admit.
Oh yeah, I hate the mask in Halloween 5. Easily the worst. Rawr. Is 3 as bad as Ends? No, it is better. It is better than Halloween Ends. I can't wait to see Wolf's reaction to how Halloween Ends plays out.
I've heard some stuff about the new reboot duology.
Yeah,
Or trilogy. I don't
we'll
remember
get to
the
that.
third one.
But yeah, Halloween 5, solid B. Solid B. Hang on, I need to use the restroom.
Okay.
We'll get to Halloween 6 as soon as I'm back.
Yep. So, you're unfortunately left with me, the one that is not the horror film aficionado. Because I honestly can't stand horror a lot of times, unfortunately. This is very much Cat's domain. Yeah, I guess you can call it Cat's Alley. 5 was a lot of fun, though. Yeah, I could see that. Just trying to think. I'm trying to remember any of these films, honestly. I can remember one really easily, but, like, this Thorn saga is one that I feel like is one I still did enjoy. Maybe not as much, of course, but, like, young me probably enjoyed them. Like, I can still kind of remember them. The basic plot synopsis. So clearly this one left... Clearly 4, 5, and 6 left some kind of impact on me.
Okay, Cat is back. Next is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The finale to the Thorn saga. And honestly, I actually thought this one was alright. A lot of people consider this the worst movie because the Thorn saga was not well planned.
Right.
Yeah. This is also the last one with Dr. Loomis as the hero.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's why I kind of go easier on it, because I love Dr. Loomis so much, and Donald Pleasance was clearly giving it his all. This is the last movie he ever made before he died, too.
Huh.
So, Halloween 6, we meet, we get a time skip this time, where Jamie was apparently captured by the Cult of Thorn, where, I kid you not, the cult forces her and Michael to have a baby together.
Oh, God.
Where the baby is going to be like their next Antichrist like carrier, the vessel carrying their god. And yeah, they need it of Michael's blood because Michael is so powerful.
Yeah.
Jamie, with the help of a nurse, escapes the cult, and Michael is sent after her to bring her and the baby back.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael, like, she escapes. We find out, like, Dr. Loomis is now, retired after his stroke.
Yeah, that would probably retire me, too.
Yeah, this also features the return of Tommy Doyle, the little boy Laurie babysat in the first movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That was such a reach.
Yeah, they're trying to bring, like, it all full circle and shit. Yeah, Tommy Doyle's in this, played by Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay.
It's very weird seeing him in the Halloween saga. So, Dr. Loomis and Ant-Man team up because we find out Michael is back, and they uncover the Cult of the Thorn and their true purpose in this movie. Jamie actually dies in this. Like, Michael follows her while she's running away, and he kills her at a barn by throwing her on a tractor dresser.
Oh, jeez.
Like, impaling her and ripping her to shreds. But, however, he failed his mission because he can't find the baby. Because apparently Jamie hid the baby and sent a message, like, on this radio show. She was trying to call for help. Like, why you wouldn't call the cops, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently she called a radio show and told them she needed help. She was at a bus depot being chased by Michael before he came and chased her to the farm. And Tommy finds the baby and takes it in. and like he basically has like he's like friends with his neighbors, like this other family like across the street who moved into the Myers mansion because apparently they fixed it up.
Of course.
Yeah, Tommy's like neighbors are also like main characters. Like he's friends with the final girl in this, and he has her like basically watch the baby for him while Michael is trying to desperately find this thing. And he returns to Haddonfield again for the first time in years to get his bloodline finally killed. And basically, Tommy and Loomis are looking into the Cult of Thorn, and we find out their true purpose. The cult is gathered every Halloween, and they need to pass their god, the embodiment of evil, onto a new vessel this time. And Michael is going to pass that on to his son with Jamie. And this baby is going to become their Antichrist or something.
Okay.
And yeah, Michael kills a lot of people along the way. The family has an interesting dynamic because the final girl lives with like an abusive father and extreme doormat Fluttershy mother. They basically get stalked, and Michael returns to his house and gives the abusive dad a very harsh death because he deserves it. This has one of my favorite deaths where he kills the abusive dad by like stabbing him and throwing him at a generator, electrocuting him until his head blows up.
Okay.
It's such an over-the-top kill, but it's the most memorable. And the mom gets like also a pretty savage death where Michael like chases her in like the laundry, like are all drying on clothespins and such. They're like chasing each other, and she's trying to dodge him. He like she picks like the wrong time to fall down, and like behind one of the clothes he like whacks her with an axe and sprays like blood on her white clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael's like picking off a lot of idiots again, the new people who are in the Myers house, some dumb friends. Weirdly kills the radio DJ because he gives him like a comeuppance for not listening to Jamie or something.
Okay.
Like I like it that he killed the DJ because they're having some kind of anniversary celebration celebrating that Michael's finally dead. And like talking about how he's gone while the cult is of course making these big plans and Michael's back. He throws the radio DJ like up in a tree, and he's like dripping blood across like little kids when they find his corpse. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so there's a lot of comments to cover, but one of them I will.
Let's catch up.
Okay, so fun fact: the baby storyline is only true in the productor's cut of the film. The theatrical cut explains it as a weird science experiment.
Oh, that's right. There are two cuts of this movie: a theatrical cut and a director's cut.
Right.
The director's cut focuses more on the cult stuff. The theatrical cut, ironically, kind of diminishes it, but makes it more straight to the point with the cult story arc.
Okay.
While it's mostly Michael kills and a lot of dumb teens dying.
All right.
Yeah, basically, we uncover the Thorn cult in this movie, and we find out who the man in black is. It's Dr. Wynn, some guy who Loomis talked to in the first movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's such a huge stretch.
Okay, this does sound like it's trying to close off loose ends, though.
Yeah, it wants to like do this coming full circle because characters from the first movie are even showing up. Yeah, this was some guy who Dr. Loomis consulted in the first movie. He turns out to be the cult leader, and he's been grooming Michael this whole time.
Okay.
Apparently, they do admit that he helped Michael escape from the asylum the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, yeah, does cover up some plot holes. Basically, that's what this movie does. It's trying to cover up the plot holes and the supernatural aspect.
Yeah, it's trying to tie it off, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, the problem is, they did not get the same team who started the Thorn cult story arc. This was like new writers completely.
Great. That is never good.
They had to take it over, basically, and it's why the Thorn line is such a mess.
Okay. Halloween 6 may be my hottest take of the series. I will defend this movie for my life. I love it. My third favorite, to be honest. I personally love the story and how it goes to actual pagan religion stuff. The origins of Samhain and All Hallows Eve was really explored here. I even like the cult aspect. It shows you can't control evil because even Michael takes out the cult by the end. The lore is just so good. The atmosphere incredible. Michael is genuinely scary. Music awesome. And I can rave about this movie all day. Thank you, David Ramos.
Really like this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's catch up on comments.
That's what I'm doing right now because that was the one I was looking at. That's like, man, we gotta catch up. I spent so many years, or so many of the last few years, having to play defense for 5 and 6, and I think there was just something about films from this era, even when they were steps in an odd direction, or in some cases an objective step down, there was still an enjoyable something in their necks. It's hard to explain. I kind of get that sentiment where they're doing different things and trying, but the execution may not just be there.
Right. That's kind of why I liked 6, though, because it tried to embrace Halloween, and it really loved the franchise, but his heart was in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Any more?
Actually, it's producer cut. It becomes something that makes 0 sense that what it has become. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go over 2 endings on this because there are 2 different endings.
Of course.
Yeah, so the theatrical cut, I actually thought it was pretty cool. Basically, the cult takes all the characters hostage at the asylum where it all began, and Michael decides he doesn't want to transfer his power to this baby, and he betrays the cult and kills them all, but he still wants to kill the baby too, because eliminate his bloodline.
Yeah, okay.
The main characters try to stop him. They pull this kind of trick where Tommy pretends he's surrendering the baby, but he actually has like a gun full of syringes, which he stabs into Michael, and they like knock him out or something. And then he beats on Michael, and apparently Michael bleeds green Kool-Aid.
Okay.
It's like, it's so weird. It's like the editing is not very good.
It's clearly tying it back to the aliens.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to be Michael's supernatural. He doesn't even bleed like humans anymore.
Okay.
He like beats him. And then, like, they escape. Tommy lives. The final girl lives. The baby, the kids all escape from the cult.
Okay.
The baby lives. But there's this very awkward scene where Dr. Loomis decides he can't leave yet. He has some unfinished business. And he walks off into the dark. And we just hear his screams, implying that Michael just killed Loomis.
Okay.
And yeah, it's apparently like Michael killed Loomis finally and escaped, and a lot of fans did not like this.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a satisfying end. 5 definitely sounded more satisfying.
Yeah,
with
5 was better. 5 was better
death.
at Loomis's possible death.
Yeah, Loomis just going in and dying. But that does not sound like the Loomis I've even heard from 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah, we just hear Loomis's screams off screen and end on a jack-o'-lantern because Halloween and fade to black. And just to rub salt in the wounds, it says, in memory of Donald Pleasance.
Okay, yeah, that does not help its case. That was the theatrical cut, you said?
Maybe Michael's a Xeno.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the theatrical cut.
Okay, so what's the producer's cut ending?
Okay, the producer's cut, different climax too. Like, it's still Michael chasing him in the hospital, but Tommy uses these magic rocks which freeze Michael in like a cult circle, and it is so weird and stupid where he like lays like a satanic ritual trap that Michael steps into and it like freezes him in place. He doesn't continue stalking
him.
It's
like a bound circle kind of
thing. Then they escape again, but Dr. Loomis says, "Oh, I have unfinished business here," where we get what actually happened. We find out it wasn't Michael, it was Dr. Wynn. He swapped places and clothes with Michael, and he passes on the curse to Loomis to be Michael's new keeper. Like, Loomis gets the cult of Thornmark when Dr. Wynn touches him, and he dies, but what sense does that make? How did it pause him in place if he's not related to the magic?
Well, he's like still part of the cult, so clearly it still has an effect on him.
Yeah, apparently Dr. Wynn dies in Michael's place to allow him to escape and continue the cult's work or something. Right. And yeah, Loomis is now bound to Michael forever.
Okay, so that's okay. I can kind of see that as a better ending for
that was also his death scream they used originally, because Loomis like it ends with him screaming that he and Michael
like searing pain.
Right. He and Michael are cursed to be together forever now.
Yeah, so it's a cruel twist of fate basically.
Right. And
yeah, I can kind of get behind that ending.
Yeah, definitely a slightly better version of how Loomis goes out, but I still think Halloween 5 did it better.
Both endings felt unsatisfying and bizarre in 6. I never interrupted the end of H6 as Loomis dying. I always thought he was Scream was seeing Michael's mask on the floor, seeing he's escaped once again.
Yeah, that's right. Michael escapes because he's dressed as the Man in Black in both endings, because they swap clothes.
Right, yeah.
We see, like, he tossed his mask aside, which felt out of character.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I thought he just carried on him, but no. We get this cool shot of the mask on the floor, implying that Michael, like, took it off and is disguised as a civilian.
Yeah.
This, I might put in the B.
Really?
Like, I do kind of like it because Dr. Loomis saves, but it is going to be a low B.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it had its good moments.
Yeah.
I do think, like, I love Dr. Loomis so much that he elevates it above a C. So yeah, that is Halloween 6, the terrible ending to the Thorn Saga.
Yeah. I can see that the Thorn Saga was trying to do, and again, explaining some of Michael and his strength and stuff like that, but it definitely takes it into a weird direction that is never gonna go well for a series like of anything, because they're just trying to do too much to explain things.
I see you, Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Halloween H2O. That's the next one.
Yep, Halloween water.
Halloween H2O. This is 20 years after the first one, where Laurie's finally back.
Yep.
Laurie apparently did not die in a car crash. It was a fake her death moment, because she's part of, like, the witness protection program. She moved away from her old life so Michael wouldn't follow her,
right,
and got a job as principal at this private school where she and her son John have been living and have been on paranoid protective watch for, like, the last 20 years since Michael came after her, because Michael is still her brother in this timeline.
Right.
And basically we find out Michael is back again, and he finds out Laurie is alive, and he's going to end that bloodline again. That's trying to stalk her. He breaks into, like, Dr. Loomis's old house to find the files on where she is.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, we find out Nurse Chambers comes back from the first movie, where she, like, she's been living, like, as Dr. Loomis's girlfriend or roommate.
Okay, an assistant.
Yeah. She, like, the nurse from the first two movies, like, she comes back because, like, it's the anniversary movie.
Right.
And Michael kills her and Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the beginning, and steals Laurie's file to find out where she's been, where he travels across the country to get to her and finally end that bloodline. This one, I really like this one.
I love this film, actually.
Yeah, I love it too. Like, we see Laurie dealing with PTSD.
Right, as she naturally would, escaping these situations.
Like, this is the one that actually has good continuity, because it is taking place, like, for her after Halloween 2, where they believe Michael is dead. He died in the explosion.
Right.
Yeah, this is back when he died in the explosion for her. Like, she saw him burn and fall, so yeah, that assumes he died, but we see she's completely haunted by it still. Yeah. She, like, has, like, scary nightmares of Michael watching her, following her, still trying to kill her after all this time. And meanwhile, Michael's making his way, killing across country until he gets to the private school.
Yep.
I actually like her child in this movie more than the new trilogy. Her son, John, named after John Carpenter.
Okay.
So, her son, John, wants to be a normal kid, but his overprotective mom is kind of strangling his life.
Yeah.
Smothering him with protection, and he finally snaps at her. And I really like the scene where he, like, calls her out and says, "Michael Myers is dead. Yeah. It's been 20 years, Mom. He's not coming back."
Yeah, it's a very realistic kind of scene and reaction.
Yeah, I really like that. That actually got me to, like, care more about their relationship.
Right.
Yeah, like, this one actually has good character development. Because, like, Laurie's also overcoming her trauma, basically.
Exactly.
And it builds up to her finally confronting Michael, no longer running away from him.
Yeah.
This being the movie where she first fights back. I think it did the traumatic Laurie much better than the 2018 reboot did.
Of course it would.
Yeah, because basically 2018 turned her into Sarah Connor. So, yeah, I really like this one. I think I'm going to put it in S rank.
Yeah, it definitely deserves it.
Yeah, above Halloween 2, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, H2O is one of the greatest sequels. I really like this one. It is my favorite follow-up, favorite Laurie movie. And honestly, I really like Michael in this one. I know it has the the weird mask this time.
Yeah.
It's like been 20 years, guys. They needed a new mask, okay? I love Michael's killing spree across the private schools where he gets super creepy. It's like, he is savage in this movie. Like, this one also has LL Cool J as the security guard.
Yeah.
He's like this funny bumbling guy, but you kind of care for him in like a Shaggy kind of way.
Okay.
Like, he breaks into the private school and like he's stalking John and his idiot friends this time. This is the one where he has like the brutal murder of the girl where he chases her and she like gets in like a dumbwaiter, but her boyfriend's corpse is in there with his throat slit.
Right.
And she almost makes it out, but then Michael cuts the dumbwaiter and it breaks her leg as she's crawling out. She like desperately crawls and Michael stabs her by just walking up to the next floor. And then he hollows her out into a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, God.
Like puts her like on a light so when the next person who turns on that light sees her like dead body as a jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
This also has one of the greatest climaxes again, this time with Laurie versus Michael, because eventually they finally come face to face after 20 years, and Laurie's like now hell-bent on killing him this time and stopping his rampage. He chases her like across the school, like a lot of cool fights. This is one where he has that really cool ninja moment where he's like up on the ceiling holding the pipe.
Right,
like she's walking down the hall.
Yeah.
He apparently knew she was coming and he jumped up like 2 stories, I guess. Lowered himself down. I love their fight. They are so cool fighting in this movie. Laurie eventually stabs him multiple times and chucks him off a balcony. He falls on a table. LL Cool J apparently survived getting shot in the head.
Oh, jeez.
And he stops her thinking that he's finally dead. Then, just when you think it's over, Laurie hijacks the coroner's van taking Michael's body, where, big shock, he comes out of the body bag, and she, like, gets into a card fight with him, runs over, Michael gets pinned under the truck, then Laurie finally faces him down one last time, and he tries reaching out to her because we're family, and then she beheads him. The coolest death and a final satisfying ending for the saga.
Yeah, Greed Shadowlink. I love this one. S rank for me. Good continuation.
We're on
Love
H2O.
Characters, kills, and it has the most awesome ending in Halloween ever. H2O is another favorite of mine. With this one, you get a better Halloween 2018, and Halloween ends in the same film. I know 2018 is a fan favorite, but this one felt more like an epic finale for Laurie.
Blacksmith Orange, can't wait to cover H2O. It is one of the best sequels, bro.
Yep,
I'm not sure you might need to do Halloween 6 next, though. Unfortunately, one of the worst ones.
I think even Deborah Hill herself, the co-writer with John Carpenter for 1 and 2, even said H2O is where the series ended, and then Halloween 1, 2, and H2O is like the perfect trilogy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
H2O is the best ending. It is the canon timeline, but unfortunately, it made money, which means we got one of the infamous sequels up next.
Yep.
I'm gonna need the bathroom again. This is gonna be a rant.
Alright, when you come back, we have to switch, because I've been holding this in.
You can go first then.
Okay, then.
I'll hold down.
Okay.
Alright, well, first. Yeah, really love H2O. It is one of my favorites. I do love it more than 2018, so in case you're asking, it is better than H40. So, H2O is awesome. I loved this. I used to have a copy of it, but my copy kind of got bad and ruined. Hoping that rewatch it changes my mind. Oh, that's right. Emily, you don't like H2O. Like, some people complain that it's boring because Michael has a low body count again in this one. But I thought it was good because it's more story focused. That was the thing. It's a lot more character development. Michael is back at being subtly creepy in this movie, rather than the Jason knockoff he was in the Thorn saga. Want an extended cut. Take your time, Blacksmith. We're taking some breaks here to read comments. Say Scooby-Doo will replace D with P. Scooby-Poo? What movie are we now on? We're ending H2O right now, which is S rank. In case you're wondering, Halloween 1, 2, H2O are S rank. 4 is A. 5 and 6 are B, surprisingly. I did enjoy them. And Season of the Witch is down at C because it is overrated.
And I'm back.
All right, read comments.
I will. There's one comment I'm not going to read just because it's Resurrection is absolute garbage. Hoping that rewatching it changed my mind. I wasn't able to do my Halloween slasher goal, so it's being extended. Aw, sorry to hear that. But yeah, I honestly, doing this list makes me kind of want to rewatch 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and H2O. I'm not going to do any of the other ones. Because, again, H2O is the one I really do enjoy. I can remember it more fondly, I think, than any of the others. Even the first one. Again, I have a good memory of the first one still. You gonna do this when you finish Goosebumps? I don't know if I'll ever review these. I know we're kind of near the end of Goosebumps. I just need to get off my lazy butt for them. Welcome back, Kat.
Just need some water. All right, Wolf. Next is Halloween Resurrection. This is the one where they make a web series in the Myers house. Where
this is the one I was thinking of with the what's his name? Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. Yeah, this is where
Trick or Treat, motherfucker.
Busta Rhymes is a web show host who wants to host his web video game show at the Myers place, where a group of teens must survive one night without getting scared in the Myers house.
Yeah.
And if they win, they get $1,000 each.
Yeah, but
and
of course
Michael comes back home and starts killing.
Yeah, I kind of get what they're trying to do.
The worst part is the opening, where Michael pretty much just kills Lori in the first 10 minutes.
Aww.
Lori, apparently they retcon Michael's death in the stupidest way possible.
How?
Apparently, the guy Lori killed was actually an innocent paramedic Michael switched places with.
Okay.
Yeah, a paramedic came to recover Michael's corpse alone, of course, where Michael, stabbed his throat voice box so he couldn't talk. Then he switched clothes with him and put him in the body bag, and that whole guy Lori killed that was trying to kill her was actually him.
Yeah, well, that's why he put his hands out. He was asking for help.
And yeah, basically, Lori killed an innocent man, and apparently that got her a sentence to the lunatic asylum.
I mean, yeah, if you behead an innocent man.
Where Lori has been waiting for Michael to return, where Michael returns after killing two of the dumbest guards ever. Seriously, they somehow don't see him, and of course they're at the snack machine because one's a fat guy, and Michael kills them, breaks into this low-security super asylum, and basically he kills Lori by throwing her off the roof. In a chase scene, and Lori dies anticlimactically.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically they fake you out that she's dead in the first 10 minutes because she's not the main character anymore. And apparently this was going to lead to another sequel down the line where Lori's son was going to avenge her death, but I'm asking, why wasn't that this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was a setup for the next sequel where John would become the main character. But Resurrection bombed horribly.
Yeah, Resurrection's awful, easily the worst in the series.
Yeah, no question there.
Yeah, it's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah, Lori dies and Michael goes home where the real plot can happen. Where Michael goes into stupid game show interrupting his home life and picks off the stupid teenagers.
Yeah.
Weirdly, Katie Sackhoff is in this movie, Bo-Katan from Clone Wars.
Oh, wow.
In one of her earlier roles. She plays this dumb blonde bimbo.
Okay.
And Michael kills her hilariously by beheading her with one slash of a kitchen knife.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It cuts off her head and the head goes tumbling down the stairs.
Jeez.
This is the one where Busta Rhymes is so over the top. He's the one character people defend because he's clearly having so much fun doing this. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah. A classic line when the building's on fire.
Oh, and Tyra Banks is in this movie.
I forgot.
Yeah, Tyra Banks is his co-host, and she dies off screen, which is so lame.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a big actor like that, might as well kill him on screen.
You got all these celebrity guest stars, and Michael doesn't even kill half of them on screen.
Probably some contract stipulation.
Right. It's apparently there was a deleted scene where they did shoot it, but they didn't put it in the actual film, apparently.
That sucks.
Yeah, This one's not good because the final girl cannot act. She is bad in this movie. It's like, this is for Ray! This is for Tina! Phalis did a funny review of this. At one point where she's fighting Myers, you could actually see like the studio's roof in the background.
Oh man,
it's like this was a cash grab movie for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, Michael's picking off these teenagers. It leads to a fight in the garage. There's somehow cameras everywhere, which Michael didn't take out or get caught on film. Basically, they fight. Buster Rhymes shows up to save the day, where he karate fights Michael because he watches Bruce Lee movies, and that's how he knows how to combat. And he kicks Michael into like their server grid, and he catches fire and burns down.
Right. Okay.
And then at the end, they think Michael's dead for good, but surprise, he wakes up at the coroner's office because this is just an average Tuesday for him.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna care. Halloween Resurrection is F.
Yeah, people have already been commenting.
F this movie. Resurrection is the worst.
Yeah.
It has not aged well because the internet has come a long way.
Of course.
It's like it's supposed to be like it's early internet and they're doing a live stream show.
Yeah.
They do have this clever thing where like, oh, the stream is like not synced up with the time, so the final girl is friends with like this internet nerd too, who's like texting her like where Michael is because he's watching her on the show because they're friends. There was actually I do remember a deleted scene where the internet nerd actually comes and saves the day over Buster Rhymes, and I actually thought that would have been better.
Yeah, that sounds better.
It's like, yeah, he's kind of like this pushover who has a crush on her, then he gets his balls, he's been watching the show, and he shows up and fights Michael Myers, not with karate moves, thankfully. He like just grabs a shovel and wails on him until he hits the server grid again, yeah. And yeah, they imply they hook up at the end, which I thought was a much more satisfying ending.
Yeah, give the nerd a win.
But no, apparently the studio liked Buster Rhymes, and so they gave him. He was supposed to die in the movie, but no, he shows up at the end.
Hey, Kat, have you told Wolf to say Scooby-Doo? I've seen the comments. I'm not good, because he kept commenting replace the D with a P. Like,
Scooby-Poo?
Like, nah.
I was just about to mention Tyra Banks is in this movie. That's Dr. Wolf, in case you don't know. Yeah, Resurrection is awful. Bad. It is bad. And so bad, it killed the franchise, and we got Rob Zombie's reboot.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Rob Zombie's Halloween remake is an F. I hate this movie. I really hate this. Rob Zombie gives us a prequel showing Michael's origin. Then he quits after 20 minutes and just remakes the first movie.
Yeah.
This is the one where we see Michael's childhood, explaining how he became a serial killer, and Rob Zombie wanted to make Michael a normal guy. Like, Michael was abused, he was bullied, he had a rough childhood, his mom was the only one who loved him in life, which is ripping off Jason's story.
Yeah. Like,
he had a rough childhood, and basically the world being huge assholes to him just broke him, and he struck back. And he killed, like, his sister is even a bitch in this version too, and it's like they're trying to justify him killing people. And yeah, we see him like finally snap and kill his dickhead family members, except his mom because she was nice to him, which I think fundamentally misunderstands Michael completely.
Yeah.
It's like, Michael was supposed to be this normal kid who just snapped for no reason. He's the embodiment of evil. He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Like, he went crazy. His madness didn't make any sense. He's a sadist who likes to kill people on Halloween, but no, they're trying to rationalize that Michael was the victim. And unfortunately, this also made him less scary because you sympathize with him now.
Yeah, now you just want him to kill everyone.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, in Rob Zombie's brilliant writing, everyone's an asshole in this movie. Like, everyone's stupid, a jerk, obnoxious, or just a complete waste of space.
Yeah.
Like he ruins Michael, and I think Laurie was also completely bastardized in these movies. Like, Laurie is a total, like, ghetto brat in this version.
Oh, jeez.
She's, like, obnoxious, and Danielle Harris, who played Jamie, actually comes. She plays one of Laurie's friends, and Unfortunately, they made her unlikable too.
Yeah.
Her only line I remember is, "Hey, dickwad, my dad's the sheriff."
Yeah.
He like yells that at Michael, and Michael Myers is not a normal guy. He's played by Tyler Mane, Sabretooth from the X-Men movies.
Jeez,
and
okay.
Michael Myers now is a normal guy to a 8-foot tall buff wrestler. Like, he's jacked in this movie, and it's like took away all his fear because Michael looks like a non-normal guy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so to be fair, the first, like, 20 minutes is his childhood and origin at the asylum. Like, we see Dr. Loomis, played by Malcolm McDowell, which I thought was good casting.
Yeah, it's very fitting for the kind of stuff he can do.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell's Dr. Loomis was a brilliant choice. Unfortunately, the writing did not back him up.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Loomis tried to reach him, and then, in this version, he instead tries to profit off of Michael Myers.
Isn't that in the second one, though?
Like, the second one is where it comes in full force, but,
Yeah.
like, he's using Michael for, like, his therapist lectures, apparently. I remember, like,
Right.
the show, like, "These are the eyes of a psychopath," and it's where his stupid Halloween speech is crammed in this movie.
Okay.
Where, like, yeah, he's talking about Michael since from childhood. He, like, this version, Michael doesn't remember killing people. It's like he wasn't unresponsive. He, like, killed
So he just
people.
kind of, like, blacks out,
He
basically.
blacks out and becomes a psychopath and stabs people who enrage him.
I guess that's kind of dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah. Oh, and Danny Trejo's in this movie as the nice janitor.
Always gotta have those.
Yeah, we actually see Michael's break out of the asylum in this version, and
Okay.
yeah, he kills everyone, and he kills Danny Trejo to show you that he crossed the irredeemable threshold.
Yeah.
Like Danny Trejo's stupid line, "I was good to you, Mikey. I was good to you." And just hits him with a TV.
Okay.
Like, yeah, in this version, like, apparently it's so stupid. Some asshole guards came in because they wanted to rape one of the female prisoners, and they do it in Michael's cell, apparently. Because Michael is unresponsive and probably won't do anything.
What the heck?
It's so stupid. Like, yeah, they go in there to rape one of the female prisoners, and Michael snaps when they insult him, and he crushes their skulls and escapes.
Great.
He, like, kills all the guards. It's like, you know, the sad thing is, I actually think this movie would have been interesting if it was, like, Michael's first attempt to escape the asylum. If, like, we see how Michael breached and broke out in Halloween 1.
Okay.
And we end it there with him on the loose and Loomis when he comes over there to stop him.
Alright.
But no, the first 20 minutes he breaks out, and we recreate Halloween 1 terribly, where he's stalking Laurie because she's his sister again in this timeline. Apparently, she was given for adoption after Michael killed the family.
Right.
And he somehow finds her and knows it's her in this version, and basically stalks her, while Michael also, like, he has hallucinations of his mom, too, because she was the only one nice to him. You know, not like Danny Trejo,
Yeah.
but...
Okay.
Let's read some comments. I've yet to see film, so I admit. Yeah, Blacksmith Orange is interested in seeing it. There are actually defenders of the first
Yeah,
movie.
I could. The first one, it sounds like you could defend parts of it. It is definitely trying to remake it to a degree.
Yeah, Rob Zombie, to his credit, did want to do new things. He wanted to bring Michael Myers an origin and back to his roots as a normal guy.
Right, and then of course you have the PowerPoint of evil, which that definitely sounds like something of the original Dr. Loomis because of how his mentality was originally. And it feels like, yes, he could easily make a speech about this.
And you could also tell Rob Zombie was at least a fan of Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, he clearly shows him, like, Michael is pretty much the real protagonist in this movie over Laurie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had, like, so many horror guest stars in both his movies. He had, he had Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis. He had Margot Kidder as one of the therapists. Okay. She was in the Amityville Horror.
Right.
Danny Trejo, who plays Machete, and Chucky the Killer Doll is the sheriff in these movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Brad Dourif is, like, the sheriff. And Danielle Harris, who played Jamie in the sequels, she shows up as one of Laurie's friends.
Nice.
And Chris Hardwick is in the sequel.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, so basically, recreating the first movie, Michael stalks Laurie, kills her friends. We actually see Michael kill Laurie's foster parents in this version.
Okay.
Like, he, like, breaks into their house to find Laurie, and this is where he realizes, like, it's his sister. He's stalking her. Loomis's search is much more incoherent in this version.
Really?
Where he's like we get random parts from the first movie. Like he doesn't go to the Myers house in this version to find him first, even though he did that in the original.
Yeah.
He's like following Michael, and it's not because he's evil. It's because I have failed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels like he's trying to help Michael in this version.
Right. He's trying to make up for it instead of kill the ultimate evil.
One thing, it came out the same year that just some guy was born.
This movie felt like it was trying to do what the 2019 Joker did, but not as good.
Yeah, it basically tries to make Michael sympathetic, which is
Right,
the problem, because
he's not. He's an incarnation of pure evil that has no explanation other than it is evil.
Yeah, this is also around the time where a lot of movies were doing villain origins, like
Right,
Maleficent, and...
What?
Yeah, Maleficent came out around this time, too. And
I really do
Cruella
not
and,
remember time.
and Hannibal Rising, where Hannibal had a sympathetic origin. It's like, they're trying to make you, like, I understand you want to give these character with deeper and tragic pasts, but we're not supposed to feel sympathy for the embodiments of evil. And that was the problem. Rob Zombie, he likes Michael, but he doesn't understand what made him scary.
Okay.
That was the issue. And yeah, all the characters are assholes too, so you don't care who he kills, and it's trying to make you root for Michael to kill them. It's like everyone's a dick in this movie, even Laurie. And yeah, she was horribly mutilated by these movies.
Yeah.
Like, Laurie is a bitch through and through. Catching up on comments.
I'm looking up when Maleficent came out because I highly doubt.
Yeah, Emily didn't realize it was that
2014.
Old. That was 10 years ago.
Jeez. And then I feel like Rob Zombie Halloween was like earlier. Yeah, it was
2007.
Yeah, that's way before.
Well, it was like a trend too. So
I guess.
I remember there were multiple versions of like these.
the
Wicked also came out around that time.
Okay, yeah, the trend has been around for a while to do that.
Blacksmith Orange is interesting in seeing it. Oh, Danny Trejo was in Mostly Ghostly 3. Yeah, he was also in American Pie Girls Rule, which was terrible, so he's got a bad track record.
He was in Machete and Spy Kids.
Or do you have some differing opinions? We might. Wolf has.
So the problem is I don't have enough knowledge on these films.
You've seen Phaelus review and
yeah,
such.
that's the thing. But again, that's only getting like a small piece of what this is. So I really have to go off of what Kat is telling me and some of my memories.
Yeah, so this also does have a slightly different ending, because the climax happens at the Myers house instead of Laurie's house this time. They fight. Dr. Loomis comes in and saves the day. Michael, I have failed you. And they end up struggling. They fall into like this empty pool. Because it's abandoned. It ends with Laurie just shooting Michael in the face, and we fade to black.
Okay.
And like, yeah, that's supposed to be his fall, like from the first movie where he fell off the balcony.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, it is abrupt and very inconclusive too.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Like, yeah, did not like it. I think Rob Zombie's Halloween is an example of a terrible horror remake. It is bad. It is uncomfortable too at times to watch, because Rob Zombie embraced the R rating. He really did. There's like uncomfortable like abuse. Everyone's so mean and nasty, and Michael is like supposed to be a monster still, but he's also sympathetic. Like, even though he's justifying his killing spree, like, it is bad. It is just uncomfortable and unpleasant.
Yeah.
Bad horror remake.
Okay.
But, of course, it
gets worse.
It made money, where Rob Zombie reluctantly, actually, made Halloween 2. Which I don't think anyone's going to complain is also F.
Yeah, that's where we
it's
get...
slightly better than the first, but...
Really?
Yeah, because it has, like, really stupid moments that are funny.
Okay. Because, yeah, I know one of the biggest gripes is, of course, Loomis's transformation from, being sorry for Michael and not able to heal him and seeing him evil to, hey, I'm going to make a book off of this.
Yeah, I hated what Rob Zombie did to Dr. Loomis in this movie, where Loomis wants to profit off of Michael Myers and has pretty much given up on hunting him completely because he believes he's dead.
Right. And then you also get the scene at, like, the book setting where the, like, dad blames him for
one
Michael's
of his daughter's death.
Yeah,
he was the father of
That doesn't
Carrie
make any sense, really.
Yeah, it's like, it's your fault he got out, and, like, yeah, this is supposed to trigger Loomis's redemption arc, and That right there is the problem. Loomis needs a redemption arc.
Yeah.
It's like Dr. Loomis, the hero of the franchise, needs to come back to his senses. This one, like, Laurie is dealing with PTSD after finding out she's Michael Myers' sister and is freaking out, but it makes her a more unsympathetic because she's also raging against her friends.
Yeah.
They're going that route where she's pissed at the world and depressed and being a dickhead to her friends who are supporting her. And it just makes me want her to die more. Michael, surprise, survived being shot in the face. This time, another stupid reason. Like, he's being taken by the coroners and they accidentally hit a cow, which causes
I forgot about that.
they hit a cow and it completely crashes the car where Michael gets out.
Yeah.
And this had that stupid scene where one of the coroners is just shouting a cluster F-bomb for like 2 minutes. He's like, fuck, because he's like pinned down and crippled. And mercifully, Michael kills him with a piece of glass.
Okay.
And Michael basically wanders like a farmland for half the movie trying to find his way back. And this has Michael's worst outfit in the series where he's like a homeless person.
Yeah.
He's like dressed in like a terrible trench coat. He's all tattered and his mask is even like falling apart. And of course, he looks more like Jason than Michael Myers in this movie.
Right. Rob Zombie Halloween 2 is the worst of the series for me, even worse than Resurrection.
Yeah, you know, I might move it down then.
Yeah.
Because now I'm remembering the full bad of this movie. This is one, it's so funny, like, Dr. Loomis goes on Chris Hardwick to interview about his book.
Okay.
And Weird Al Yankovic is also there.
Okay, of course.
It's this stupid, like, basically Rob Zombie tries this social commentary on how people are, like, profiting off of crimes and trauma that really happen and real world problems when they should be ashamed of themselves and care about the victims.
Right.
And that's what the point of this scene where the guy blames Loomis for Michael killing his daughter, because Loomis, like, goes Hollywood in this movie. Yeah. He's, like, up his own ass. And, yeah, awful. Like, Laurie spends pretty much most of the film being an angsty bitch, and Michael, like, making his way across the country back to them, like, kills a bunch of random people completely unrelated. Like, he stops at a strip club to pick off all the patrons one by one.
Okay.
And at least we get some nudity in this, so that was a plus. And introduces that weird subplot where Michael is being compelled by an illusion of his dead mother riding a horse. And
is it a white horse?
Yeah, the white horse.
So it's a reference to the Pale Rider.
And of course, the mother gets a lot of scenes talking to him, and because the mother is played by Rob Zombie's wife.
Of course. Okay.
So he's giving her like a lot more treatment, like Resident Evil did for Alice.
It's the Mia Jovovich thing.
Yeah, because it's Rob Zombie's wife. She's getting more scenes, and this unfortunately made Michael more like Jason.
Yeah, exactly. Because the whole mother's thing, even if it's imaginary, is definitely a Jason trait.
Michael Hobo Myers. Yeah, that is the correct. He looks like a bum in this.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, basically, the mother is telling Michael to not kill Laurie, but to reunite with her, because they'll be a family again, which, again, Jason kind of story. And yeah, this is why Michael is stalking Laurie in this version, because he wants to be a family again, even though, you know, he killed half her friends.
Yeah, and he's also killed all these other people.
Yeah, he's like stalking her because Ghost Mom is compelling him. Laurie's being an angsty bitch, and honestly, this is also even more Jason. Michael stops being a normal guy in this because he takes so much damage and sheds it off.
Yeah.
And at one point when he's chasing Laurie, he flips over a police car with his bare hands.
Gosh.
It's like, okay, he is not human anymore in this movie.
Of course not. He has the thorn mark.
Right. Yeah, of course, Dr. Loomis gets back to his senses and realizes Michael's back, and he finally goes a-hunting again in the last third of this movie.
Yeah, I hate how vocal Michael is in the movie.
This is where he says his first word.
Yeah. Every time he kills, it's an awkward primal scream. Very out of character and comes off as cringy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ending.
The ending.
Die!
Yes. Yeah, and basically, this is how Rob Zombie ends his saga. He has Laurie, Loomis, and Michael in a final confrontation, and all three of them die.
Yeah.
And yeah, they all die. Like, Michael says his first words, die! And the moment everyone hated and gave up on Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
He fatally stabs Loomis, and he stabs Laurie in self-defense, but Laurie gets like a kill stab on him, and basically, like, Laurie gets gunned down by the police because she snaps and goes crazy, and all three of them die. The perfect metaphor for Rob Zombie's control of this series.
Yeah, since you said he reluctantly did it, it makes me think he wanted to make it kind of bad on purpose.
Yeah, Rob Zombie did not want to make a sequel, but the studio got money and they paid him a ton.
Forced him to.
Yeah, he basically did this out of protest, and he made sure he didn't have a follow-up, but unfortunately it was terrible too.
Right.
And we end on a death dream of Laurie seeing Mommy's white horse. And that's where we end because it was deep and stuff.
Okay.
Except not really. It was awful.
Yeah.
It is the worst movie in the franchise. I hate it. Hate it. Rob Zombie bastardized all the characters.
Yeah, I mean, just from the comments, I feel like everyone's on the same idea.
Yeah, everyone agrees.
No, there are no defenders of this one.
Oh god, the ending and when he said die.
Yeah, it's so freaking stupid, yeah.
Yeah, first time Myers talks in the series, and
it's the dumbest line, yeah.
I need to use the bathroom again.
Considering how many timelines this series has, maybe you should do a Halloween timelines tier list in the future. Probably not. Yeah, there's only like 3 of them. Love hurts, love scars, love wounds. Oh, jeez, great. Way to take a good song and put in something to make it worse. Oh, it was deep, alright. Deep friggin' poop. Yep. I don't think anyone is ever gonna ask for a reboot of this. Of the specific 2 films. And like, yeah, I definitely did not watch these 2. I watched these ones through reviews only. So again, I barely know it. I feel like even Kat probably barely knows it. I honestly doubt Kat watched it, or if he did, it would have been a while ago, because I don't think either of us would have enjoyed wanting to go out for these films.
Yeah, I hated it when I heard it as a child.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're shutting off this shadow, now going into the reboot ones.
After Rob Zombie killed the franchise, they started over. Hey, Wolf, you know all the Halloween movies? Well, you can forget them, because only number 1 is canon now.
Yep.
Halloween 2018. This is the 40-year later version, where Laurie's not Michael's sister anymore. She's just a random woman now.
Yeah, which already is a bad decision.
Yeah, I didn't mind the brother-sister angle, but, you know, I was open to try it out. Basically, Laurie has become Sarah Connor now. She has, like, guns and collection and made her house a Home Alone trap for when Michael comes, even though this is a random guy not related to her now.
Yeah, this sounds like an even worse H2O, Laurie.
Yeah, basically, Michael has apparently been stewing in prison. He was arrested at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
We see how it happened in Kills, but that's the next film.
Of course.
Yeah, he was captured and brought back to the asylum where he remained quiet and vacant, but of course, he's being transferred to a new asylum where he breaks out and goes on another killing spree across this old town.
Okay.
And Laurie is now prepared this time. Laurie has had a daughter and now a granddaughter.
Of course, can't even have a son anymore.
Yeah, it's like 3 generations of Strode women. And it's like, the daughter's not even named Deborah after John Carpenter's wife this time, which sucks. Yeah, they had a daughter, and the daughter actually married Khan from King of the Hill.
Really?
Yeah, Khan's voice actor is the doofy dad.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so weird. Toby Huss, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in this as the final girl's doofy dad.
Alright.
Yeah, apparently the family is also trying to live normal lives, but hate Grandma's crazy paranoia. Laurie has kind of distanced herself from her family again, but this time she's a crazy old lady who lives in a cabin in the woods.
Okay.
And she thinks Michael's gonna return, but they say, no, he's not. He's old and in prison now, and apparently now, like, she finally bounces into action, and the family, like, eventually believe her, because Michael goes on another killing spree. Basically, like, Michael breaks out when, like, these podcasters want to interview with him or something. and like they're also like more social commentary that trying to profit off of a murderer.
Okay.
Like, apparently these podcasters somehow have Michael's original mask. So they're the first one Michael goes after so he can get his stupid mask back.
Of course.
And yeah, apparently, the cool scene is like, it's a very cool. He ambushes them at the gas station, and apparently, if you pay attention to the background, you can see Michael walking in and killing people in the background.
Interesting.
He like kills a mechanic to steal his jumpsuit because we need the old look back. And he like when one of the podcasters like looks at the cashier, he sees like his head is like ripped open. And Michael jumps the girl podcaster in the bathroom and kills her and her boyfriend and steals his mask back, where he like takes their intel to find his way back to town. And basically Michael goes on a killing spree. There's a very cool shot where we follow this one scene of Michael walking around into the backs of people's houses and killing random civilians, and it is like one continuous shot.
Okay.
It like looks super cool and raises like that paranoia fear that if you don't lock your back door, a guy could easily come in and kill you.
Yes.
It's like I like he like crowbars a old woman dead, and like he stabs some babysitter through the neck and bashes another one through the window.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's like so cool. And at one point, like Michael looms over a baby, and you think he's gonna kill it, but no, he leaves it alone because helpless prey.
Lame.
It's like too easy. Michael does actually kill a little boy in this, where like he breaks out of the prison, like he's like a boy and his granddad are like driving, and he kills them and jacks their car. Okay. Like it's the first time he actually like breaks a little boy's neck in this.
Oh wow, okay.
And he killed Grandpa by like folding him in half.
Jeez.
really brittle bones, man.
Okay.
Read the comments.
Yeah, another one of my very hottest takes from David Ramos. Halloween 2018 is very overrated. Following this immediately from Shadowlink, well, at least we're back to a good Halloween movie for the most part. So already we have people not fully...
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It's not great. Everyone was really overhyping it.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
It is a return to form. It is a step in the right direction because Rob Zombie butchered this franchise so much.
Well, even before that, Resurrection was the one before those two, and that wasn't great.
Michael does have brutal kills in this one. Like, one of the granddaughter's friends is like a creepy incel guy who tries to make out with her because he misread her signals. And
2018.
Yeah, Michael kills him by impaling his head through like a sharp fence.
Oh, jeez.
Like he tries climbing to get away from him, and Michael just shoves him on there.
Okay.
And it's so cool seeing like the fence post protrude through his mouth.
Okay.
It's like a brutal scene. There's a scene where he chases him like through like the motion lights, and Michael like pops up closer and closer every time the lights go off and on. It's a very visually cool film, at least. Yeah, it's basically like the women are the powerful ones and are fighting back against the scary man.
2018.
Yeah.
Gonna keep saying that. There's a
reason. 2018. I thought it was fine. I was like, I do question because Jamie Lee Curtis is like now 60 years old and she's fighting Michael and apparently can survive a fist fight with him and being thrown off her balcony.
Of course, Kat.
It's like,
don't you know that
girl
women
power.
are magical?
Yeah, wolf. 2018 is overrated, but it's the best of the modern trilogy. I think Kills is a bit better, but we'll get to that.
Not unwatchable, but just kind of mid.
I think this one I want to give A, but I might give a B. Definitely the saving part is the climax where they go to Laurie's fortress because Michael miraculously makes his way there. Oh, I forgot. There's this weird plot point, Wolf, where Michael's doctor, who's the replacement Loomis, apparently in a twist, like he's hunting Michael down just like Loomis and helping the police, but in a twist, it turns out the therapist is a psycho fanboy of Michael Myers and wants to study him to be like Michael.
Okay, so it sounds like they're kind of going to the Dr. Wynn thing.
Yeah, the therapist actually sabotaged the prison escape himself to allow Michael to come out so he can study him and see how he operates.
Okay.
And yeah, apparently, like, when the cops capture him, the therapist shows he's the villain by betraying the cops. He stabs one of the officers and basically takes Michael for himself, and there's this really weird scene where he tries on Michael's mask to see through his eyes.
Oh my gosh.
He wants to feel the evil, and I feel like this guy is a mockery of Dr. Wynn and
Yeah, it sounds like
and definitely Rob Zombie too. By the
Really?
end, it's like because he's like impressed by Michael and how he kills. There has to be a sympathetic story there. He's like trying to be the guy who breaches Michael's mind and understands him.
Okay.
And they make fun of that stupid line where he believes Michael can talk and he asks him say something, and like it's mocking that moment where he said die in the Rob Zombie moment. Yeah, the therapist basically kidnaps Michael and abducts Laurie's granddaughter because he believes there's a connection there.
Makes sense, probably calling back to the Thorn stuff.
You're right. He like kidnaps him, but he like falls for a trick where the granddaughter pretends she heard Michael talk at one point, and he stupidly stops driving the car to ask her, "What did he say? I have to know." And Michael resumes consciousness and breaks out.
Okay.
He like the doctor actually got a cool death. He like punches him through the grate of the police car and like breaks out, and he basically stomps his head and it explodes. Because, like, he's asking him, say something, why don't you talk to me? And, like, yeah, basically a mockery of Rob Zombie's fanboys.
Okay.
And he stomps his head and it blows up, and Michael trails the granddaughter, who also escaped, back to Laurie's cabin in the woods.
Okay.
Where, basically, we get what everyone loves about the movie, the epic climax at her house of horrors.
Right, between this random woman and Michael Myers.
Yeah, Michael has no connection to her, which is why it felt a bit weaker.
Yeah, it's the dumbest decision to not make them related.
No, he remembers her as that one girl who escaped him all those years ago.
That doesn't make any sense for Michael Myers. Only 2018 is literal definition of mid. That's how I'm feeling. Just from hearing Kat talk about it, even these like cool scenes, it's like okay.
Yeah, it was just great because it was a decent movie after Rob Zombie's crap.
It's a drop of water after you've been like just exhausted.
Like, of course, I love that Laurie's alive after Resurrection pissed that away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't all that great. It was just an average movie, kind of. Average slasher, Michael's on the loose. All the women, of course, get girl power moments where they fight Michael. I do like the daughter, who's been like a spineless pushover, actually snipes him through his neck.
Oh, wow.
Somehow it doesn't kill him, of course, because he's realistic.
He's bulletproof. It's fine.
This leads to the famous scene where they fight, they trap Michael in the basement, and Laurie sets the house on fire to burn him for good.
But, of course, it doesn't work.
Yeah, there's this cool scene of Michael, like, pissed off, looking at them through, like, the iron bars as he's trapped in the basement, as it all burns down, and 3 generations of Strode women come together, and they escape in, like, some guy's pickup truck, Texas Chainsaw style. Honestly, I might give it a B.
Real, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely better than Rob Zombie's crap.
It's
achievement.
It's hard not to be.
It like returned to is like a lot of people claim it's the return to the franchise's roots, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't like it didn't blow me away.
Okay.
It's like I thought it was good, not great.
What do you think about Michael getting his fingers blown off in 2018?
Oh, that's right. Like Laurie shotguns his hand when he's like trying to grab her through like a window.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty cool. Hardcore. Still, he's like a normal guy who survives that. Like, it doesn't hinder him at all in the next movies. What do you think about it, Wolf?
Again, I have not seen
like,
these films. Based off what I've said earlier, it's mid. It's like, it just doesn't entice me whatsoever. I'm still going to firmly hold on to the original 6 films. Basically, just discount 3 and replace it with H2O. And you got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 H2O. I just consider that the originals.
Oh, like, Shadowlink would give it an A.
Really?
Yeah, I can understand people liking it because we got such crappy sequels.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we've gotten a good film from it, so people are just going to latch onto it. I understand that, but it's not me. I don't think I could get into it.
There was another cool kill, though, where Michael, like, kills these cops and he turns their heads into jack-o'-lanterns.
Of course.
Like, he basically, like, uses them to scare cons.
Okay.
And then, like, he just sneaks up and assassinates him in the back.
Okay.
Like, Halo style.
Yeah. I
It's
believe
like,
B is worthy from David
it's
Ramos.
like, come on, you couldn't give him a cool death. He just gets sneak assassinated.
It's realistic.
Yeah, they try to make him realistic, and Michael basically bludgeons and stabs people in this movie.
Okay.
It's like no super kills except for his therapist, like who gets his head blown up and stomped on.
Yeah.
All right, next is Halloween Kills. This is the one where Michael is completely on the loose in town and pissed. So basically, Michael survived being burned in a building because apparently a firefighter team showed up to respond. They put the fire out, but one of the firefighters accidentally falls through the floor, giving Michael an escape.
Right.
And this has led to the coolest scene in the movie where Michael steps out of the flames like from hell and kills a bunch of firefighters.
Jeez. Okay.
Like, he, like, takes their weapons and uses, like, the jaws of life to crush them.
Oh, wow.
He, like, stabs them with pickaxes. This really stupid guy who tries hosing him down.
I mean, it's a high-powered hose.
And this one has everyone's favorite chant. Like, this time, the town actually reacts to Michael's killing spree, and we actually see it. Tommy Doyle from the first movie is back, all grown up. This time, played by one of the Breakfast Club kids.
Okay.
And he leads a protest/vigilante hunt for Myers, and leads to everyone's favorite slogan, "Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight!"
Okay.
All my streamers are gonna love hearing that.
I already got Emily to put that in, yep.
Yep, evil dies tonight.
Halloween Kills, a tough one to love for me. I do like many things, then there's other parts not so much.
This one, the town is actually on the hunt for Michael, and he actually works for his kills in this movie.
Okay.
Like, Myers is now fully off the chain. He kills the firefighters and makes his way back into town where he resumes his killing spree.
Right.
And this time the town is on guard and paranoid and actually hunting Myers, and many dumb idiots trying to be vigilantes get killed by him.
Right.
This one dips into the fan service quite heavily.
Really?
We get a lot of returning characters, like Tommy's back, Laurie, of course.
Yep.
Dr. Loomis appears in a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually got a look-alike. They didn't CGI Tarkin him.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a guy who looked like him.
Are we talking Daniel Pleasance?
Donald Pleasance, yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Loomis comes in. We see the flashback how he arrested Myers.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael, basically after losing to them, returned to his house. Two cops. One of the cops is a younger version of a main character.
Okay.
And, like, we saw they tried trapping him, but he hesitated to kill Myers, and that resulted in the death of his partner.
Okay.
Then Dr. Loomis, of course, showed up to save the day.
Yeah.
And, this is weird. Like, Loomis was actually going to execute Michael on the spot, but the cop talked him out of it because they thought he was captured and no threat.
Okay.
And basically, he has regrets for doing that because it led to the current present-day killing spree.
Right. Okay.
It gave him sort of a character arc. The cop is of course, a love interest for Laurie. Because this is the guy, apparently, the therapist shanked and betrayed in the last movie.
Okay.
And apparently, because test audiences loved him, he survived and has this character arc.
Alright.
And he and Laurie are both in the hospital after Myers' attack because callback to movie 2. And yeah, this one has a lot of homages and loving tributes to the entire franchise.
Okay.
Like, we see kids with the silver shamrock masks at one point.
Okay.
Like, they're referencing everything.
Jeez.
And they also bring back the little girl, Lindsay. She's, like, friends with Tommy.
Okay.
They bring back the nurse because her actress is still alive.
Amazing.
And they bring back, actually, one of the idiot bully kids from the first Halloween who picked on Tommy.
Wow.
Apparently, they retconned that he believed in Tommy, and at one point, Myers, like, scared him when he was, like, running away from the crime scene.
Okay.
Yeah, the bully almost got killed by Myers, and he has this redemption arc where he has to help Tommy face their fears and confront Myers as vigilantes.
Okay.
And apparently, the idiot bully is also the father of one of the love interests of Laurie's granddaughter.
Alright.
Because we're tying all these people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost comically, it sounds.
Basically, Halloween Kills also has a very, like, anti-mob mentality message because everyone being a vigilante is stupid. And there's a plot point where at one point the Tommy is leading the mob and they think they found Myers. It turns out to be one of the mental patients who was also on the prison bus. He's like trying to hide because he's been mistaken for Michael Myers.
Right.
Weirdly, I don't know how. This guy looks like Danny DeVito's Penguin. Apparently they mistake his identity, and the mob are trying to kill him without just cause.
Yeah.
And I actually like this subplot because Laurie's daughter that actually tries to help this guy because she realizes it's not him, but the mob is too bloodthirsty and going BLM on his ass. Okay. They're like chasing him, trying to kill him, and there's like this sad scene where the convict realizes he's trapped and he jumps off a building to his death to avoid punishment, and we get like everyone feels bad because they got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could tell this was out when BLM was kind of a thing.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm pretty sure the priest would agree with that, but I understand.
Let's see some comments. Halloween Kills is the best of the Blumhouse trilogy. I agree. The cameo with the certain character in the flashback made me actually cry in the theater. Oh, I think he's talking about Dr. Loomis.
I would assume so.
Yeah, because, they really paid tribute to Donald Pleasance. Like, he is treated as the ultimate hero for stopping Myers.
I mean, he is the ultimate hero.
But yeah, he is. He is.
There's no other way to read it.
And I love that they actually got a look-alike. They didn't CGI Donald Pleasance on some guy.
Right.
Yeah, they actually did makeup and got a guy who looked like him.
Okay.
We see how he actually captured Michael, and they treat him with respect because he did save the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, Michael's gone on a killing spree, and this is where we start introducing a terrible plot point that the therapist introduced. Like, what is he thinking? And how does Michael operate? And we get more perspective on Myers and how he kills. Like, there's this scene where they return to the old Myers house, and get this, people are actually living in it this time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's these really weird gay guys called Big John and Little John.
Oh, God.
And they're these weird comic relief. Like, I really hated them because they were like these annoying goofball duo in this very dead serious movie. Basically, Michael, of course, returns to the house, and instead of calling the cops, they decide to confront it. And they get really brutal deaths, too, apparently. Like, the Johns hear a stranger in their house and see, like, bloody footprints, and, of course, decide to investigate. And there's this goofy scene where one of the John gets a butter knife to confront Myers. It's like, have you ever tried using a butter knife? They can't even do good stabbing butter.
Yeah.
He's gonna confront Myers with a butter knife, and the other guy gets a golf club.
At least that's a weapon.
It's like, they're really weird, and they keep calling each other, "You okay, Little John?" "Yeah, Big John, I'm fine. I think he's in our room." They keep calling each other by their names in case the audience forgets.
That's so weird, but okay.
And like, Michael killed one of the Johns really brutally too. Like, he like thinks he's in the room, then Michael jumps him from across the hall, like stabs him in like the armpit first, then gouges his eyes out.
Jeez, okay.
Like, you actually see the ball roll out of him.
Alright.
Then he poses the Little Johns like his family or something because we're getting inside his head.
Yeah.
And like, one of the other John just dies off screen. Is say, "Michael, you've returned home," because like they know of the legend and shit.
Okay.
And this gets to one of the problems. They're acting like the other Halloween movies are canon, and Michael is this big, great, evil villain guy.
Yeah.
But you retcon all of them, and he's only in movie 1 where he killed like 4 people. It's like, yeah, they're acting like Michael has attacked town before, like in Halloween 4 and 5 and 6. And this is like the first time he's on the loose since 40 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're acting like Michael's a supervillain, and yeah, this is why the crowd scenes really didn't work for people, because they're on the manhunt for a guy who was on a killing spree years ago, and didn't really kill that many people in the first film.
My problem with Kills is it's hard to take the Michael Terror legacy that inspires Evil Dies Tonight seriously with the only previous 2 films in the timeline. And then when they were calling each other by their names, it sounded like one of those fake gameplay demos they would show in like E3. definitely. If Cat's telling is accurate.
Oh, how can I forget? There's another hilarious scene where the vigilante's stalking Michael, and it has like some of the goofiest, funniest kills in the franchise where Lindsay and some expendable idiots follow Michael by car, and they're like trying to tell these children to get away because Michael's nearby. Then Michael jumps the car, like, and one of them says, Michael, this is for Dr. Loomis, and her gun doesn't have bullets, and then Michael stabs her easily.
Okay.
Like, they're trying to poke fun that these are completely untrained civilians.
Yeah.
Michael, like, stabs another guy through, like, the car roof. And, like, how that knife was so strong enough to do that, I don't know.
Yeah, and also just long enough to do that.
Yeah, stabs him, and is like, he makes, like, a weird goldfish face as he's dying.
Okay.
Like, the guy could not act. And then, my favorite is, one of the girls actually tries shooting at Michael. Like, she's charging at Michael with a gun. Michael kicks the door, and the gun hits her in the face where she shoots herself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, alright.
It's like so
That sounds
hilarious. It's so stupid. It's like it turned like what's supposed to be a scary scene into so bad it's good.
Okay.
It's so cheesy too. Michael, of course, this time he's going after Laurie's granddaughter because he remembers her being there when she tried to kill him.
But Laurie's just a woman.
Right?
None of this makes sense is the problem. That's where I'm getting, like, yeah, it's cool the entire town's going after him, like in one of the previous ones where Loomis got the posse. But again, he had a reason to, like, kill them. In this new trilogy, from what I hear and what I'm hearing, it really should not get this level of a reaction. Like, it's just a guy. Were they this crazy about, like, some, like, random stabbing person, too? Like, jeez.
My problem with kills is it's hard to take Michael's terror seriously and inspires evil dies tonight.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel like while the kills and previous characters were good, I thought many of the characters had their dumb moments. Laurie is a bit wasted in this, and the evil dies tonight got old fast. Yeah, that was a big problem. They say evil dies tonight, like, every few minutes, and...
Jeez.
Yeah, it got very old. Personally, I didn't mind it because I've seen people like this in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always motto chanters.
Yeah, these stupid mottos. Basically they have their confrontation. I do like one of the wasted things is the idiot bully, now an adult, decides he's going to help the kids fight, and he gets killed off screen. Like, confronting Michael alone, he's like, saying, a man's gotta do, and he just dies because politics. Yeah. And so Laurie's granddaughter and her boyfriend save the day. They give the boyfriend a really brutal death. Like the boyfriend finds his dead dad, then Michael jumps him, he impales him on, like, a broken stair rod.
Oh, jeez.
Then he's still not dead. He, like, Michael beats his brains in. He's still not dead. Then Michael twists his head around.
Oh yeah, that sounded like a fantasy from one of the women working on the film.
This was because the boyfriend was kind of a douche in the first film, and a lot of fans complained why he didn't get a brutal death in 2018. And so, okay, we'll give him, like, the most brutal death in the sequel.
Just over the top on that one.
Do you guys have a favorite kill from the franchise? Yes, mine is Michael getting beheaded in H2O. That made my top 10 Halloween kills, which you guys should totally see. Wolf, did you have a favorite?
I don't remember these films. I don't remember the kills. I'm getting all of my knowledge basically from Cat and Stray memories. So I have no real thoughts on, like, a favorite kill, a favorite moment, a favorite character. I really don't. I am very detached from the Halloween stuff.
No, someone's saying I should put the Mud Monster and Baby from Goosebumps on the worst villains and episodes list.
Oh, that's what the GB was.
Yeah,
I literally cannot connect that dot.
Read some comments. I'm
unfortunate. There's, like, no new comments at the moment. We've just read them.
Okay. Talk to Emily.
And oh boy. Yeah, when did I even stop? Probably after H2O. I might have seen Resurrection or parts of it once, but, like, all this newer stuff, I am so detached from it. Rob Zombie 2. Once I heard the reboot of Halloween into Halloween Kills stuff, I had no real faith in it. It's because also they came out at a specific time where everything was being heavily politicized, so I lost faith in like a lot of films, including these, unfortunately. That's why I kept saying in the first one, it's 2018, because if you remember the time of 2016 to 2020, you'll know exactly what I'm speaking about, and I'm not going to talk about in any further detail other than that timeline. So that's why I just didn't watch these 3 films.
Okay, so one criticism I do agree with Kills is Laurie's not in this movie very much. She's in the hospital the entire time, and they poke fun of Halloween 2, how they think Michael's gonna come to the hospital after her, and no, surprise, she's just a chick to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even bother looking for her in this movie at all. He's basically after Laurie's granddaughter and daughter through most of it. And, okay, so after a lot of escapades, like they confront at the Myers house, Laurie's daughter shows up and tricks Michael into following her, where she leads him to the angry mob, where they dispense, like Tommy Doyle is like leading the mob. They dispense some justice and make evil die tonight. And basically the mob all pounds on Myers.
Okay.
But then we get this weird speech where Laurie's talking about implying that Michael is supernatural, and he survives getting beaten and turns the tables on the mob somehow by stabbing them all to death. Because apparently being clubbed didn't break his bones.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he turns the tables on them because apparently everyone's fear of Michael gives him power.
That's so stupid.
And yeah, basically the twist is Michael's supernatural in this movie, and he kills them, and Tommy dies. He gets Negan to death with the baseball bat Michael picks up. And everyone dies, and basically, like, they thought it was over, but no, the police are now still searching for Michael, who's disappeared. And at the end, for no reason at all, Laurie's daughter goes back to Michael's house to look at the sister's room where it all began, and surprise, Michael jumps her and kills her. Laurie's daughter dies in the end.
Okay.
And that's where it ends. There is a theatrical ending, though, where basically Laurie called her daughter before she died, only she gets killed by Michael, and she hears him breathing on the phone, realizing that Michael got her, and Laurie swears revenge, and that's where the movie ends.
Okay. That's only slightly better. Who would you rather confront, Michael or Jason? Michael.
Michael.
Jason is much more supernatural, and I feel like even built more like a tank than Michael.
Yeah, Jason, you gotta Michael, you gotta kick him in his balls like Busta Rhymes did.
Yeah, like Michael, I feel like I have a better chance at least injuring him. Jason can just take so much more damage, I'd say.
Okay, so here's my defense. I like Kills because it's like a throwback to 80s slasher movies.
Okay.
Like, it really loves this franchise. It treats this like a good old-fashioned, like, B-movie slasher.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, we get a lot of idiots. Like, Michael is on a killing spree. Michael is awesome in this movie, and they give so many cool shots to him. Okay. Like, he steps out of fire like hell, and he has a lot of shadowed scenes. Okay. And he actually wins in the end, which, yeah, I think makes him scarier.
Okay.
It is pretty much a dumb, fun time, but it is flawed. That is the thing.
So yeah, can't say that I love or hate this one. It's a B or C in my opinion from Shadowlink.
Haunting Hour Goosebumps. Haunting Hour. Haunting Hour, both of us.
I'd argue Jason is easier to outsmart and evade. Michael is an evil that will follow you and forever smart. Yeah, but also Jason just has like supernatural speed if you've played the game. Right. Where he could just go into
He can teleport, man.
Yeah, basically. There's no out to that.
Okay, so Halloween Kills I will give a B. I will put it above 2018 because I liked it much more.
Okay.
But yeah, it is an okay film. Had its great moments and had a lot of dumb moments.
Okay.
And with that, we're at the grand finale. Halloween Ends, which I thought was god-awful. Okay, hang on.
So I don't even remember when I heard about this film, if I did.
Yeah, Wolf was out of the loop for a long time. This movie was kind of released after COVID.
Okay,
so it was like direct to streaming.
It's a forgotten one, yeah.
Yeah, this is the finale, and this is the Michael Myers movie that barely has Michael Myers.
How do you do that?
Get this, Wolf. Okay, so this movie is about a kid named Corey who becomes falsely accused as a criminal and is treated as the successor carrying on Michael Myers' legacy. Okay, I gotta explain this one to Wolf.
I'm completely flabbergasted.
Yeah, this is more about
such a declaration.
This is more about a kid named Corey becoming the new Michael Myers. Okay, so basically this one completely has nothing to do with the last one.
Fun.
So Corey is this weird nerd kid who's like a babysitter in high school, and he babysits this bratty kid, and this is happening during Halloween Kills' events, and their paranoid Michael Myers is about, and they kind of fake you out. Michael might be in the house, but no, he never comes. Like, the bratty kid scares his babysitter, and through a sequence of events, he accidentally kills the boy by knocking him off the staircase where he falls to his death.
And then, snaps him back down.
Yeah, his parents, show up, of course, at a convenient time, and they think he killed their son.
Okay.
And basically, Corey gets arrested, but then released because it was an accident, and he has this thing haunt over him where the town thinks he might have murdered this kid and gotten away with it and treat him like a criminal, basically. And Corey's life goes to shits, and in a total homage to Rob Zombie's crap, people basically treat him like a monster.
Okay.
And this is a sort of Joaquin Phoenix Joker kind of movie where he's treated by society and forced into villainy because everyone treats him like a monster, and this is what he becomes, and he sort of becomes the town's new Michael Myers legend.
Okay.
They think he's a babysitter murderer even though he accidentally knocked this kid down.
And it was only one person,
Yeah, it was only one kid, and he didn't go on a killing spree, but apparently that's what the legend made, and this is connecting to the stupid Halloween Kills where the fear gave him the power.
Yeah, okay.
And basically, Corey tries to resume his normal life and achieve some happiness, but everyone in town treats him weirdly. He falls in love with Laurie's granddaughter, and get this, at the end of Halloween Kills, Laurie has gotten over Michael and her daughter's death completely, and is trying to be the mother figure for her granddaughter and being normal. It's Michael killed her daughter in the twist ending. Wouldn't she be more obsessed with trying to hunt him down? We live in a society.
I need you all to know that I actually put my face in my hands here.
Yeah, Wolf is face palming.
This film does not sound good.
It was not. It was a subversion of our expectations that failed.
Course.
And basically, it's Corey's villain origin. The town is mistreating him, and he's forming into the new Michael Myers, and I kid you not, 45 minutes in, Michael actually shows up in his own movie where, people apparently this gang of idiot bullies attempt to murder Corey by throwing him off a bridge, and he survives and crawls into the drain where he finds Michael has been sitting because, get this, Michael has been injured by the mob beating him and is licking his wounds in this drainage for the last 2 years.
Okay.
And Michael passes the evil on to Corey.
Oh, God.
We're bringing back the Thorn saga, people.
Oh my gosh.
Michael, looks into his eyes and he sees Corey's trauma and Corey sees Michael's evilness or some shit. Okay. And Michael lets him go because apparently he sees a kindred spirit in Corey. And yeah, Michael Myers basically mentors this kid and inspires him to become a serial killer. And Corey snaps and kills all the people who wronged him one by one. And yeah, Michael doesn't appear again until after the hour mark.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Myers is a side character in his own finale.
Yeah, that's never going to go well. The only thing I liked is when you actually get to see the fight with Laurie and Michael, but unfortunately you have to deal with schlocky as all heck moments with another killer.
I hate this movie because Corey is essentially a spin-off character in what's supposed to be the finale of a trilogy.
Well, Halloween Ends was directed by the guy who gave us the Exorcist reboot. Big Ugg from Shadowlink.
Yeah, that was bad.
Laurie's arc in this trilogy would have made much more sense if it was backwards. Laurie and Halloween Ends should have what we got in 2018. Leading up to Halloween Ends, we get 2018 Sarah Connor.
Exactly.
Yeah,
she goes in reverse. She goes from obsessed with Michael to not caring. She's moving on, even though he killed her daughter and would have more reason to go after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically we follow Corey's villain origin story. He kills the idiot bullies. He kills these assholes. He kills this evil DJ because we have to bring that point from Halloween 6 back.
Okay.
And he kills this weird incel guy harassing his new girlfriend.
Of course.
And basically this is Laurie's plot. She has a relationship issue because her daughter is in love with Corey and doesn't see that he's crazy and evil, and it creates seeds of distrust between them because she's choosing Corey over Grandma.
Okay.
And Laurie's basically trying to prove that something's wrong with Corey, which makes even less sense because she was kind of friends with him at the start.
Huh, okay.
Until he started dating granddaughter, and no, he's evil. He has to be Michael, and Corey kind of acts like Michael did.
Really?
And yeah, they're implying he's going to take up the mantle or some shit. And then, yeah, it's kind of like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie. Basically, society is shaping him into this monster because he wanted to be good, but everyone treats him like an animal, and that's what he became.
All right.
And yeah, they also kind of rip off John Carpenter's Christine because he's based off of Artie, the kid who gets the car and becomes obsessed with it, but he's obsessed with Michael in this version.
Okay.
And he starts killing people who also wrong his girlfriend. And his mask is so stupid. He gets this scarecrow costume.
Alright.
And the scarecrow looks like this goofy Wizard of Oz kind of thing. And it does not look scary once.
Okay.
He dons it, and Michael and he actually tag team kill this couple. Yeah, Michael, kills, the boyfriend, and when she tries to escape him because Corey fails as a killer, Michael jumps her and shows him how to kill her.
Okay.
He does the pin her to the wall kill with the knife, in the first movie.
I'm so done already. Just hearing this. My phone's dying, unfortunately.
Use the charger.
Oh, well. But yeah, just from the description of this, I cannot care.
Society. It is mostly Corey's movie, and that is the problem. This is the finale between Michael and Laurie's final face-off, and we're focusing on this spin-off character, who, in the end, doesn't matter. Because, okay, spoiler alert, Corey, of course, finally decides to do what Michael failed to do and kill Laurie. Even though she's a random woman to him now.
Again, the same question must be asked. Why Laurie? It makes no sense in this new timeline.
Yeah, so this leads to one of my least favorite scenes in the movie of crap, where basically the guy, Corey, beats up Michael Myers and steals the mask for himself because he's now the successor.
Yeah, just has all the hatred that makes him stronger.
Yeah. I do like the mask because the mask has developed battle damage and has mold from the sewer this time, and Michael has breathing problems in it now. He steals Michael's mask for himself to be the real one to kill Laurie. Where, surprise, Laurie's a strong, independent woman at age 80 and beats him up.
Let's go, geriatric women.
Yeah, she outsmarts him and kills Corey, but her granddaughter walks in and thinks she murdered Corey out of malice. And leaves her, and apparently Michael came back and jumped her at the right time, and now has the final battle, and get this. Michael kills Corey and takes his rightful mask back, which makes Corey's arc completely pointless.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Corey's story doesn't matter. Michael kills him in the end and takes his mask back because this is his saga and his kill, and Corey is pretty much never mentioned again in the last third of this movie.
Wow. Okay.
Which made the movie completely pointless.
Yeah, you literally just wasted the audience's time.
Yeah, it's just fuck Corey. I hate him. He is one of the worst characters. This movie sucks, and basically, the last 20 minutes is what we actually wanted to see, Michael versus Laurie for the final time.
Yeah.
And honestly, Laurie kills him very easily. Like, the granddaughter shows up at the evil radio station guy place and finds out the guy died, meaning Laurie was right. Corey was evil, and Corey killed this guy because Michael couldn't have been there.
Yep.
And she goes back and helps save Grandma at the last second. They pin Michael to, like, a table, finally stab him. And this time, like, Laurie undergoes this stupid arc where she had to atone for giving up on her hunt for Michael. Like, basically she decides to finally finish this, and Laurie somehow gathers the whole town. They drag Michael's body on a car and put him into, like, a shredder at the junkyard Corey worked at.
Okay.
And this time, Michael's permanently dead. His corpse is
Reduced
meat.
to nothing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's treated as, like, this weird kind of Grinch gathering moment where all the Who's of Who'sville gather along, and
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
everyone celebrates Michael's gone, and all the characters who survived from the saga are, of course, somehow here. And Michael's dead. Laurie finally gets closure. Her granddaughter moves out of town to get a life, which was something established in the first movie. They're finally giving closure on, and Laurie and cop boyfriend hook up, and I realized the cop boyfriend's arc was completely wasted too because he did nothing all movie.
Yeah.
And we end on a montage of all the places Michael's been to, but now it's bright light and all happy music, showing that the shape of the boogeyman is finally gone.
Yeah, the darkness is gone and it's a new day can finally begin.
And that was the end of A Corey Story. It sucks. It was bad. It is F material, and I think it might be worse than Rob Zombie's movies, honestly.
Halloween 3, Corey's in the house.
I will put it above Halloween 2. Yeah, it is F. Fuck Halloween Ends. I hated it. It was a disaster. A disappointing end to the trilogy, which had so much potential.
You know, I'm kind of glad I didn't even watch this trilogy hearing all of this. I really could not care for it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I could not care for any of this.
Like, what did Corey thought would happen when he beat up Michael?
Yeah.
Stupid, this whole arc was stupid. Yeah, I hate it. Here's the whole ranking if you can't see.
Yeah, so in the S we have Halloween 1, Halloween H2O or water, and then Halloween 2, the original.
We have Halloween 4 as the only A.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, I wanted to put Kills in A, almost,
Okay.
but I admit it has faults. Kills is definitely top of the B.
Yeah.
Then 2018, The Revenge of Michael Myers, The Curse. Then Halloween 3, which is overrated. Then all the shit. Halloween Resurrection, Rob Zombie's duology, Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is bad. I think it might have killed the franchise, too, because there are no talks of a future movie.
I mean, it really is the end of it.
Right. Like, yeah, he made sure Michael is dead this time, so we're not carrying on this timeline anymore.
Yeah. And also, Corey's dead, so you can't carry that on.
Yeah, Blumhouse ended up as huge letdowns. I thought the first two were okay, but when you get down to it, the new trilogy was kind of the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
2018 was The Force Awakens, where it was okay, a nice return to form, but not perfect. Then Kills was The Last Jedi. It divided everyone. It had good moments, but also really stupid franchise-killing moments. And then Halloween Ends was The Rise of Skywalker, a complete travesty, and a failure as the finale.
Yep. And sadly, it sounds like it just kind of ends with this whimper instead of a bang.
Right. Would you rather watch My Robot or Halloween Ends? I would go with My Robot because it's shorter.
That too.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with a feature film length of crap.
But also, I feel like I could care about My Robot.
Right. Halloween Ends is the My Robot of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was disappointing. A disappointing end. I was looking forward to it because I actually liked Kills. But no, and this is the last movie Jamie Lee Curtis is ever doing because she's a bajillion years old now.
Yeah.
And, like, she can't do stunt work, and the guy who played Michael Myers was actually an elderly stuntman, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, he wanted to fit the role perfectly, and he did all his own stunts, and
Nice.
he announced that he's not going to be Michael anymore, and I kind of figured he's reaching 70, so...
Yeah.
No, yeah, like, of course, we're gonna start. There's rumors going around that there's gonna be another new timeline, but this time with Jamie.
Okay.
And we're going to follow her grown up and erase the curse of Michael Myers.
I feel like at this point they might just do a TV series. That sounds like where it will go instead of a film.
How long can you do a TV series of a guy going around killing people?
As long as it makes money.
It's like, yeah, I've heard also that they want to do, like, maybe Dr. Loomis's son will carry on the franchise.
No, that's stupid. Do not add a son to Dr. Loomis. He's fine as his own character.
Right.
Just let it die. Oh my gosh.
Oh, someone said a Halloween TV series is actually in the works.
Of course it is. Of course it is. There's TV series for practically everything.
Yeah, Miramax is funding.
Yeah.
Even though Corey deserves Halloween too. It's like, screw Corey. I hate Corey. He was a complete... He wasn't even in the last films, which made it more jarring. This is his first movie and his last, too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we spend an hour and a half on Corey, and he didn't even matter in the end, and nobody wanted to see his story. And what pisses me off, there are people saying, oh, I liked it because it's different. You didn't expect it. It's like, yeah, I could have a Michael Myers gangbang. You didn't expect that either. Where's my medal? It's like, Halloween Ends was bad. It's like, what do you think about it, Wolf?
I don't know these films, and it sounds like it's garbage awful just from your own description. That's how I kind of feel about this trilogy. It does just feel like it started good, and then it just slowly went downhill. None of these films give me anything I could ever feel like I could care about. I do not care for these films. If these got deleted from history and the collective consciousness, that is completely fine. Halloween only needs the first 6 films and H2O. That is all it needs and how it should have ended. And film and franchises like this, like everything else from the 80s, they should be dead. We should not be gathering their corpses just to raise them up for money because the writers are awful and can't come up with anything original. It's awful. I hate that this is happening still.
Yeah, these franchises went on too long, and it's obvious these writers want to do their own thing, but are using the brand name to sell it.
It's the same with Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it came back. It was not good, really. Sure, there's some enjoyable moments, but, like, it's just dumb. And, again, completely unnecessary.
Yeah, Halloween Ends clearly wanted to be the Corey story.
Yeah.
But, no, we had to cram in Michael and Laurie because no one would give a shit. No one would give a shit if it was something on its own because it's a ripoff of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah.
Based Wolf. Emily really loved your rant.
I mean, yeah, it's just a thing I've been thinking of for a while. I've been thinking of making this an entire actual editorial video.
Right.
Because I feel so passionately about this topic of letting things die.
So yeah, do some new ideas. Maybe people would have loved Corey's story if Michael's name wasn't attached to it. It's like, yeah, there were people who liked it. Me, I didn't, because, again, I wanted to see Michael, but got the Corey story. And it was also a ripoff of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. It's like, yeah, we're doing a story about how society turns people into monsters the more they mistreat them, and yeah, you're basically stealing from that other film that did that exact thing.
It's because they're both based off the classic adage, the boy who's not loved by the village will feel the warmth from the fire.
Right. You're right.
That's all it goes back to.
So, I love the Halloween franchise. It does have more good movies than above average, but overall it is a franchise that has run its course, and it has had its bad sequels. It had terrible missteps, terrible direction, and it's very clear that some of the writers wanted to do their own thing and not associate with the franchise that fans love.
Yeah.
Society, the scariest monster of them all. Yeah, okay, so in case you're showing up late and haven't seen the ranking, the lowest of the low are Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, worst of the franchise, unnecessary sequel. Halloween Ends, garbage, awful ending to a trilogy. Sad that this is the last time we'll ever get Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, example of bad horror remakes. Halloween Resurrection, terrible cash grab sequel, trying to cash in on the modern trends. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is overrated, a complete mess, which could have been good, but unfortunately, it was all over the place. Halloween 6, I thought it was better than most people think it is. It was kind of a patched together work job where they wanted to give a finale to the Thorn saga. It was a mess, but it had its moments that shine bright, and Donald Pleasance, of course, saved this movie. Halloween 5. I thought this one was okay. I get why people didn't like it, why it's divisive, but I thought it had its moments too. Dr. Loomis is at his best in this movie, and it has one of the best climaxes of the series. Halloween 2018. This one's okay. It wasn't that great, but it had its moments. It saved the franchise after Rob Zombie buried it, but unfortunately, did not enough. Halloween Kills, just a dumb fun throwback to 80s slashers. It is stupid, but it's also enjoyably stupid. It totally loves Michael and its franchise, which is why I really got into it. I will defend that it is definitely a B+. Halloween 4, this one is underrated. It is a definitely good sequel, definitely has its forced moments and set up a lot of the downward spiral trends, but as its own, it is a good movie, and it is a return to form for Halloween. Definitely a huge saving grace after Season of the Witch. I bet you're gonna gut Terror Tower, given how everyone seems to love that story. Well, Wolf is gonna do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, W stream. Halloween Ends felt like such a punch in the face to Halloween fans. Yeah, it was. It was.
It sounds like it.
It was one of those attack the fans, and big shock, it didn't do well. Halloween 2, definitely a S rank. I thought this was one of the best sequels. It is definitely a basic film, but I had fun. It is Michael at his scariest, has the greatest atmosphere. And definitely, it would have been a worthy end to the franchise if John Carpenter did end it here. I think it's just pure fun. Halloween H2O, definitely the real finale of the series. It is great. It is one of the best. It is a good anniversary film. It has Laurie at her best, Michael at his scariest, a very fun setup, and a worthy conclusion to Michael Myers' saga. It has my #1 favorite kill in it too. Go watch my top 10 Halloween kills list if you haven't. But yeah, H2O is the second best of the saga, and I do not think 2018 has dethroned it at all. And of course, top dog is the classic, the 70s Halloween. This, of course, is a legend. It is the one that started it all, the one that made Michael Myers famous. Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis is a great horror hero, and it is iconic. Great after all these years, and I know the only thing dated about it is the 70s fashion, but, I think it is good, and I think it is the one that has held up the most well. And started the slasher cliches. Yeah, definitely did.
W channel, yes, we are.
Definitely did. Oh, everyone really loved your rant there.
Really?
Yeah, Emily definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Resurrection was different too, and that sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely did. Any final thoughts you want to say on the Halloween saga, Wolf?
No, I don't think so.
What movies should I start covering for Halloween once I run out of these? Well, Blacksmith, you did say you want to do Season of the Witch. I think you'd be fine doing that and a Michael movie because it's so vastly different. It's like, yeah, it's technically connected to the franchise, but it is its own thing entirely. To be fair, I just love about everything y'all do. Thanks, Emily. Love ya. Hoping to do a crossover with Emily soon. We're debating on a Goosebumps episode right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really wants to do Living Dummy 3 with us. I'm thinking about doing that. Wolf, do you have any projects in the making?
Not really. I've got one on the mind, and then I don't know what I'm going to do after it.
Yeah, you were going to...
Keep it a surprise, because it's, November.
Yeah, Wolf has a special orchestra for you.
Yep, it's my birth month.
Yeah, me, I'm doing a ranking. I might do another ranking, and some people asked me if I'd do rank the Candyman saga because Tony Todd died, and he was the Candyman.
But it's like so little.
There's
only like the 4 things.
There are 4 movies. There are 3 films with Tony Todd in them, and the reboot cool one.
Yeah.
I love you all so much. Hearts for everyone. Thanks, Blacksmith Orange. Sure, you're gonna gut that. Oh, someone wants us to do piano lessons can be murdered, by the way.
So I was actually gonna do that for October, but I let that month slip me.
Yeah, you let a lot slip.
I'll come back to it. There's a reason I'm doing it and not Kat. I will go into it when I talk about it.
Yeah, Wolf is considering doing that one. We've been planning these out, kind of.
Yeah, as much as I've done, and I say much, I mean more, as little as I've done for reviews lately, I still am thinking about what I'm going to do. It's just, for whatever reason, I have the weirdest motivation. Like, it can rise to the top and then immediately deflate to where I'd let time just pass.
Beautiful Hans! Yeah, he said that. I love that line. You can take the sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, the Candyman can.
Don't forget the cursed camera song. Yep, another thing I have been thinking of doing soon.
Yeah, Wolf
I was
might
gonna
do
it. I was gonna do it in October,
but you let it slip by.
I just didn't. I watched 4 minutes of the opening of the first episode, and that was that.
Oh, but that has Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he's Knuff.
He's Knuff. Yeah, everyone's looking forward to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolf might do the haunted camera one.
Yeah, there's a lot I have planned, and there's a lot of other things I just have going on outside of this channel as well.
And the mirror. I think he's talking about Let's Get Invisible. That one's on mine.
Okay.
That one's with the magic mirror that turns people invisible.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah, it is. It's not a very good episode.
All right.
Someone wants to do Candyman and Final Destination rankings. It's like, here's the problem. Final Destination, I wanted to do, but they announced they're making a 6th movie.
Oh, great.
It's like, yeah, there's going to be another Final Destination movie directed by the guy who made Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, great.
It's like, yeah, apparently that's on the horizon, so of course I'm stalling because I gotta wait for it to come out so I can watch it.
Yeah, and Final Destination just does not entice me.
Yeah, Wolf doesn't like that one. Candyman I might do because there's so little. And it might actually be a short video for me for once, but also because I love Tony Todd.
Okay.
It's like, he was a great guy.
Oh, jeez. Now your phone's dying.
Okay.
So we should probably end
Start
soon.
wrapping up. Wasn't A24 going to make a Friday the 13th series? Yeah, allegedly that's being in the works. Brian Fuller, who made Hannibal, is making that.
Fun.
He's Knuff. Yeah. All right. So here's the last picture of the Halloween stream if you haven't seen. 4 of the god-awful movies, and Halloween 3 is overrated.
I don't know why you keep saying that when everyone is like, it's the most underrated film.
Right. And here's a whole bunch of good movies and decents. Alright, so let's end the stream here before my phone dies.
Yep.
You've all been great, audience.
Yeah, glad to have you here with us.
This is our ranking. I've been Catastrophe.
And I'm Wolf.
And we'll see you later.